You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Come around with more than 1 or 2 votes. We need the kind of change that's affordable to the rich man or the man that's too broke. TNT, we need a new hope.
If you can look as far as I see, within this great land we call TNT, there's birds and bees, rivers and seas, pretty woman bringing man to their knees. Treasures of this blessed land we always neglect like 𝗪𝗀 I find it so strange the way we arrange. Still this nation don't know how to change. To some change might just mean a new car, could mean less than $1. To most change have this nice scent we usually get from the government. You see, change is something we always say, but every time we change things remain the same way. Things keep getting worse and worse, so this is what I propose. Let's change the change for a better nation. Change the change for all foundations. Change the change so that we could say that this nation here came from quite down there. I say change the change within the school systems. Stop changing ministers and change what we teach them. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Murders, killings galore, so much gunmen fighting needless war. I can't tell you stay, can't tell you go, cause this still the land we used to know. Homeless, every corner you meet, and they complimented by our dirty streets. Then we wonder why in our sister isle, why they don't like Trinis to come and spend time. Well, you see, it's much more than paving a whole road, and it's greater than fixing a lamp pole. Change is about the whole nation and how we are portrayed when the party done. Who set these standards in my TNT? Really wish somebody here could tell me. It's just the same thing again and again, like we leaders don't use the brain. So change the change within our country. Change the change so the whole world could see. Change the change for a better future, so we don't have to depend on our next mayor. I say change the change within the society, otherwise we have a bandit factory. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In our youth, we leave all the weight, cause in most leaders, we done a lost faith. They're full of such greed. Oh, Father, I plead, please, Lord, have some mercy on the seas. Cause the youth are trying their best, but they're born in this place of lies and commerce. So eventually, when things get heavy, chances are they might turn out just like we. But you see, could put an end to all this foolishness and could break this chain link of sadness. Change could help our leaders to grow and start preparing youths for tomorrow. Don't see change as something timely and start seeing change as your duty. To stop them from hurting one day is we had to point the way. So change the change for better transparency. Change the change for better economy. Change the change so no man one day will take we money and just fly away. I say for young Calypsonians and stop saying culture is in good hands. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. For those who don't know how to arrange or what I might mean by change the change, it means restructure what is regular so that we can have a different culture. From Kaiso, they get solutions, but still they treat us like the stupid ones. They neglecting we repeatedly, constantly insulting our country. But if we change, we'll understand to value each other, and change would mean there's a better future. I hope one day our leaders know through culture and media is how people grow. While they're fighting politically, wasting the nation's time and money, they're paying people for advisory, but like my own it is for free. So change the change for the struggling pan man. Change the change for that old Kaisonian. Change the change for the elderly, so grandma and grandpa could die happy. I said change the change for all opposition, so next time they'll approve legislation. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Stop you, yes, when God bless a man. Satan may attack you, yes, when God bless a man. He's gonna back you, yes, when God bless a man. That man must stand, he must stand AI. Who God bless, none can curse. His divine favor man can reverse, even if they do their worst, When God bless a man, nothing must stop you, yes, when God bless a man. Satan may attack you, yes, when God bless a man. He's gonna back you, yes, when God bless a man. That man must stand, he must stand, I say. If you answer his call, he will lift you up. If you fall, hey, hey, hey. If you fall, just give him your all, hey. When God bless a man, 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗃, nothing must stop you, my friend. When God bless a man, Satan may attack you, yes. When God bless a man, he's gonna back you, yes. When God bless a man, that man must stand, he must stand, I say, yeah. to say yes. You've got to say yes. Say yes, I say. When God bless a man, nothing must stop you. When God bless a man, Satan may attack you, my friend. When God bless a man, he's gonna back you. When God bless a man, that man must stand. He must stand, I say. Oh, nothing must stop you. When God bless a man, Jehovah say he's gonna back you, my friend. When God bless a man, oh yes, oh yes, Satan may attack you. When God bless a man, that man must stand. He must stand. Nothing must stop you. When God bless a man, Jehovah said he's gonna back you, my friend. When God bless a man, oh yes, oh yes. Satan may try to attack you. When God bless a man, that man must stand. He must stand. He must stand.
Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's no other than In the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. As you know what we say here in the village, doesn't matter what planet you're from. If you're from Mazatanius, Venuranius, Saturnanius, Sonaranius, doesn't matter what planet you're from, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome in the village. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear a pink t-shirt, you wear a mauve t-shirt, you wear a pink and yellow t-shirt, you wear a multicolored t-shirt, doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear, you are welcome in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Let me say a special welcome to no other than Diana, Waveney, Stormy, the Storm, Greta, the Trin Bage Gonian, Bajan, Waveney, McDonald boy.
Greetings, greetings, fellow villagers. The storm under some pressure here with the cold weather, the onset of the cold weather. It's affecting me physically. But how is everybody? You said you could wear any color t-shirt if you come in the village, right?
Any color you want to
So
wear.
you're bound to wear one?
No, you ain't bound to wear one.
Okay, good.
You want to wear a bodice, you could wear a bodice.
Anyway, I know. Suppose you want to wear no top at all.
No, we have
Okay.
FCC restrictions. We have FCC. You know,
Okay.
we had to answer to a higher source. You know where it is good. Not the highest of the high, but
I
one
just
a little
wanted
higher
to
than
know. Good
the
evening.
yeah.
Oh, good evening, villagers. Ooh, this weather, my part of the world, it's raining, it's cold, it's everything. Oh, God.
Let
Ooh.
me say a special welcome to no other than Tom E., the commissioner in Newark, Marshall Nisbet Thomas. Welcome you inside.
Good evening, villagers on WXYE.
Yeah, WXYE. You know, you told me I just say that. You know, the funny truth, you know, they don't want to give you credit. So they do
Uh-huh.
something, they willfully do it incorrectly. Because, you know, I
Yeah.
sent it to them, I sent it to them, and
Yeah.
I WZYE on it. And they
Mm,
willfully, you know, I mean, we're good,
mm,
we're good. I mean, they
mm.
willfully did that. That was willfully done. I must say
And
that.
what they need to do is to send us to run a correctional clause now. That
Nah, they don't
that's.
do correction.
I mean, hang on. But let me call the expert. Give me permission. They need to
Yeah,
run
call him, call him.
a correctional clause that the station title was printed in error, and it is indeed.
Nah. Listen, I know something that was willfully done. So
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
mean, you
Shame,
know,
shame on you, Express. Shame
they
on
should
you.
go ahead and let them know. But I just know that. I mean, even the spelling, even the email was some WZYFM@gmail.com.
Mm, mm,
You know
mm.
what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
listen, I don't think we can complain about what happened. Hold on. I don't think we could complain about what happened. I think it was.
We know, and the villagers know that that we are the originators, not the
Oh
duplicators.
yeah. That's what I know. You know, but
Mm,
I mean, when I read it, I said to myself, I said, oh boy,
mm. I
and
saw
then
it too.
and
Mm-hmm.
then the Guardian and them, the other
Mm-hmm.
newspapers talking about um the story we learned on Sunday. On Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
she announced that she was going to challenge Dr. Sunday. I sent it to you
Mm-hmm.
guys Saturday night. And you just give credit where credit is due. I mean, anyway.
Well, maybe Saturday night they open it Sunday morning. You don't know.
Hey,
No,
that's
but
Wall
they never
Street. We can't
type it
make Wall
out.
Street relevant, you know.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's Wall Street. We cannot make Wall Street relevant.
That's
No,
right.
not Wall Street, but WZYE 95.9 FM.
But I'll tell you
Well,
something. When you
well,
type in the WZYE, it doesn't pop, and you try to pass it through as text, it doesn't populate as WZYE. The system doesn't recognize it, so the person didn't pay close attention. That editor, that copyright person.
Yeah. I just think it might be a little error, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We'll
I
leave
don't
it alone. Send them another story and see
yeah.
there. Yeah.
That real more to come. It doesn't seem like
Yeah.
it was intentional. But the only thing about it is that the other newspapers and them didn't say where the story originated from. Only one
Mm,
newspaper said it. One newspaper that I saw,
mm,
said it
mm, mm.
originated from us. But the other
you know,
newspaper and them,
but,
huh?
but when you really think about the articles that are popping up in the newspaper, you think that there's no one else contesting for the leadership but Karen.
Well, there was a big fake news that was put out
Mm-hmm.
with respect to three slates, right? Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
before we get into that, let's get into superlatives in the chat. But there was three fake slates that were put out,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be honest with you, even I get caught. I made a few calls. And I called a few people who was on the slate, and they told me, "Well, boy, I don't know about that. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
have not approached me to being on any slate, so I don't know how my name get there." And from that, I say, you know what? I also hit the delete button, because yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked good, It looked real, and they had real names, That
Mm-hmm.
but Trinidad, boy, take real time to sit down with all the names and the slate and all kind of thing. But I did get an email about someone on I know the slate. I want to ask the person about the slate. They didn't answer me back. But I will show you that I have one from a person who is in the parliament currently going up for vice chairman. And I don't know what slate the person is on, but the person is running for vice chairman. Right? So we'll see about that in a little bit. And then we have tonight coming up, no stranger to In the Village, Dr. Shane Mohammed. They will talk a little politics again and talk that how, I mean, you know what this election is like? When Donald Trump ran against Hillary, it was Hillary Clinton, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, everybody said Donald Trump had, well, not everybody. Let me just do like 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗁𝗃. Many people said, right, correct, Tommy, correct. Most people said Donald Trump had 2 chances, slim and none. Most people.
But slim worked, huh?
And slim work, yeah. And Donald Trump became the 45th president, right? 45, right? That's what we used to call him,
45.
Right.
IQ 45.
Yeah. We used to call him he became the 45th president of the United States of America. So just a little warning to the people that when people go in a booth to vote, you don't know who they're gonna vote for. You don't. They could tell you anything. They could tell you, well, don't worry yourself. You're good. When they go into the booth.
And statistics could say this, and statistics could say that. And historians can say this, and historians can say that. But you see that when the power of that vote, you can't predict it. You cannot predict it.
Yeah, you can't predict it. You can't predict it. And I believe in history. And here's why I believe in history. Because 20 times in the history of this world, 20 times, I was the first one to do something. That's why I've established, and I'm pumping my own horn here now. That's why I've established 20 world records. So 20 times, I was the first person in the history of this world to do that. So I have faith like a mustard seed that anything is possible. Because remember, impossible also spell I am possible.
That's right.
Possible. Impossible also spells I am possible. And many people say, boy, that's hopeless. I tell them, listen, I drop the less and I add full, and I think it's hopeful. All right, but let's go to the chat. Of course, tonight we're back to normal again. We'll be back to normal. First in the chat was Nadia.
Yeah.
Back to normal. I don't know, the fellas and them have me real pumped up for one night. And that was a good night, Saturday night. We had one of the biggest stories ever. The biggest story in Trinidad and Tobago for a whole. Well, it still continues to be the biggest story in Trinidad and Tobago. The talks of all the radio stations across, the newspapers, everything. Right? That is the breaking story that came out of WZYE 95.9 FM with respect to Ms. Karen Nunes-Teixeira, going up against Dr. 𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗪 for the political leader. And I want to come back to something. Now, I just call the Prime Minister Rowley. All right? And I will tell you something. People, you see why? People in Trinidad and Tobago. I say people. I didn't say all people. And there are certain PNM people. Right? If you give them Google, they might go down by Marvel and go and ask for Google who does be on the radio program. They might think that is Google who they need to go and look for. If I tell them go and Google something, they might go down by the radio station and try to pick up Google to see if they're looking for he. Call them and say, Google, somebody tell me to come and look for you, Right? Right? All your, sometimes, my PNM people, only use Google sometime now. And I already see we have a fella inside of here, right? Well, we go get to he. He already, let me highlight him early before you go anywhere. Romeo Frank, right? Romeo Frank, Dr. Rowley for you, not Rowley. Romeo, I don't want you to go nowhere, Romeo, and welcome to the village with the dark trip. I want to say hello to Romeo. I just
Hey,
the first,
Romeo.
yeah, the first time Romeo come in here, right? We want to
Welcome,
say hello.
Romeo. Welcome.
And
Hey,
Romeo,
Romeo, they have Juliets in this village waiting for you. Go ahead.
yeah.
Oh.
And Romeo, at least one thing when you leave here tonight, you're going to learn something. I can guarantee, well, you already learned something, right? Because at the top of the hour, we play 3 songs, we play 2 songs, and then we play a motivational little speech. So you already get, you're already being edified for your first time in the village. And many people who come into the village always leave with, after every program, with some sort of edification. And I know that you have already been edified. So welcome, Romeo, to In the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We welcome each and every one.
Welcome,
All right, so let me go back to the chat real quick here. So we had Lana first. No, I mean Lana second. Lana said, blessed good afternoon, all my village family, love in the house. Lana was third, fourth. Oh boy, Lana said, nah, boy, not today, boy. Yeah, good night, Tommy.
Albert tried, eh?
Yeah, Albert, you try, boy. I know, boy. Albert come in. Albert was the 4th person in there, boy. Albert, I see you try hard, boy. Hard. It was quite a few minutes in between, though. I don't know. Albert.
I tell you, woman is boss. He falls short.
Yeah. Good evening, 𝗍𝗫𝗁.
Keisha says she come in first.
Wait now. Albert say, good evening to 𝗍𝗫𝗁, talking like Keith Rowley. No respect for people. That is our next fella too. And listener, we go get into this one too. I listen to the Minister of Public Utilities on our program there, but them really don't get it, you know. They just don't get it, you know. The man gone on our program on the IPNM 95.5, right? I think that's the name of the station. It's IPNM 95.5, right? He gone on our program, and the man trying to get him to, like, you know, kind of modify your statement somewhat when you're talking about people need to eat ham. What did he say? Let me read the quote right here. So this is what he says. And I have the quote there. We can no longer afford to go to the movies twice a week or 3 times a week. We may not be able to bake ham every month or make macaroni pie. Can you imagine that? A fella who doesn't have to pay for almost nothing. You telling a sufferer who a little outlet for that sufferer might be go to a little movie, might be to bake a little ham, might be to bake a little macaroni pie. You telling him you may not be able to bake ham every month or make a macaroni pie boy? And before the man say, well, you know, maybe my choice of words was incorrect, the man doubled down, you know. He doubled down, boy. Them fellas, you know, I have to say this, 7 years under Dr. 𝗫𝗫𝗁, the country of Trinidad and Tobago have gone backwards. They're taking me back to the Stone Age.
Yeah. We have to realize something about Trinidad, you know. There's a lot of classism that's going on, you know, that we here in the United States. We in the United States have a different outlook on life, you know.
Yes, we do.
Because it has no kind of class thing in the US like there is in Trinidad, you know. And people in a certain class, they don't look down on a man to pull him up, you know. They look down on him because he's down.
Yeah. And not only that, but the other minister of sports who never play rounders in she life, never even play no rounders. I didn't she ever play half ball.
Pitcher marble.
Oh yeah, pitcher marble. She never pitcher marble in she life. You understand? And she's minister of sports. Yeah, what she said. Listen carefully, yeah. Everybody wants everything, but willing to give up nothing. Let me repeat that. Everybody, and this is just part of the quote, and we go play this speech. Everybody wants everything, but willing to give up nothing. So what she have basically said is the 1.4 million people in Trinidad want everything, but them willing to give up nothing, right? She said everybody, right? Now, when the reporter approached her and tried to ask her a little thing, she said, well, go back to my statement. I've already made this statement. Go back and listen to it. Go back and listen to it. Before she said, you know what I mean? With some type of little compassion for them people who's suffering. Be a little compassionate. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for light bill. You don't have to pay for telephone. You don't have to pay to go and do your nails. You don't have to pay for laundry. You don't have to pay to do your hair. You don't have to pay for your clothes. You don't have to pay for nothing. Nothing. You basically living on the government.
Taxpayers' dollars.
Taxpayers' dollars. That's what you're doing. Nothing. And you go come before a sufferer, right? Who only want to know where your next plate of food coming from. That's all they want to know, you know. A sufferer. Everybody wants everything, but willing to give up nothing. And we go play the whole, we go play it. But, and then you know this sad thing, boy? And then the other one, 𝗬𝗏𝗏. I call a radio program this morning, and I say that 𝗬𝗏𝗏 will take me back to the Stone Age, the dinosaurical age. What is that dinosaur game? The
Tyrannus Rex.
Tyrannus Rex. They want to take me back to Tyrannus Rex when we was running in the jungle, right? And I said, they want to take us back. And here a fella said to me, well, what was she talking about? I went by the big jar and I put up 3 rocks and we cooked some food. Okay. Okay, right. So what you telling me now? When I go home, I should go and find 3 rocks, bring it in my house and cook my food. Eh? Or bring a coal pot in my house with coals, right? Which could give me all kind of thing, all kind of disease, right? Whatever it comes with. You see how them out of touch? And boy, and them
and they want ride a bike. Now if you're living in Grandy, if you're living in Grandy, if you're living in Grandy and you had to get to work in Port of Spain for 8 o'clock, what time you get in there, boy?
No,
and is the roads, the infrastructure on the roads can accommodate you as a bike person, like in, you know, other countries. Now in Netherlands, when I went to the Netherlands, I was surprised to see so many hubs with bicycles. People was riding bikes all over the Netherlands, but their infrastructure supports it. Huh?
They made allowance for that. They made allowance for bicycles.
Yes. And they have a bicycle lane and all kind of things. You know,
riding a bicycle in Trinidad, you're liable to get knocked down by any.
A delivery guy get knocked down in Westmoreland the other day. Riding the bike.
It's not no bike lane. It's not. And listen, and then people, well, I live in New York, and I just see all them bike and them park up and all kind of thing. I gave a fella today. I gave a fella 4 PhDs today. 4 PhDs. I just finished school and I come out. We had midterm today, right? I gave him 4 PhDs. A PhD in stupidology, a PhD in dotishology, a PhD in foolishology, and a PhD in madology. He's the first fella to get 4 PhDs, and he didn't even have to go online to get it. He just had to go on the station and talk one set of dotishness, and he get him PhD free. So he's now a doctor. Let me finish. Let me finish. Go ahead, Anna.
𝗶𝗶𝗃, if you're tired here about Holland, I go there. I already went there. Nobody is stopping me, and I could go back. And they ride bikes in the UK too and other countries. I mean, come on.
New York City.
They ride bikes. But there's bike lanes, and
the infrastructure is already in place for them to ride bike.
The infrastructure even there for you to drive a car on them roads in Trinidad and Tobago.
What lane you go ride a bike in on the Eastern Main Road from Sawa to Port of Spain? What lane?
Go on the priority bus where the police go chase you down.
No, but what lane you going in? Which lane? Which lane?
I have no idea.
Wrong the Savannah. They have a bike lane wrong the Savannah, I'm asking. They have a bike lane wrong the Savannah?
I don't know. Nope.
You know, wait,
No.
say, Tommy?
I said they do not.
Tommy, when these people want to defend the party, if I had to defend them, I just defend them. When I had to defend them, I will defend them. But when you want to defend, it's two, the un and indefensible, right? It just doesn't make sense. When a man or a woman who doesn't have to pay for anything come in and tell person go and use our coal pot.
And
Or you can go and ride up it.
And sacrifice.
Sacrifice, yeah.
And the people can get water the 2 days a week if they're lucky. They still want a bill from them.
Not only that, Danny, but when we reach 12, we get off Klim and we had to go and drink bush tea. But you know, when we was drinking bush tea, we had no Klim. What's wrong with you? You get off Klim at 12? What? You doing good? I get off Klim. But I get off. Boy,
well, in defense, I used to get the pure cow milk. So,
well, listen, I may get cow milk
because my mother husband used to raise cows, so I used to get the pure cow milk.
She get off Klim at 12, and she going to bush tea. We start bush tea like after 1.
But in between there, you would get bush tea too. You would get some bush tea in it, especially when they want to give you a purge.
Yeah, but sand and salt used to be once a month,
oh God.
Once a month up in Snake Valley.
And look, you had outdoor toilet. You had a
outdoor toilet. 6 or 8 are we in that yard, boy. Man used to line up close to that friggin' latrine, boy. What?
Not me. I dig plenty hole down in the back of the property and did what I had to do. I can hold it much longer.
No, we have plenty, and that is part of the problem. All you're out of touch with reality. All you're out of touch. And you know why all you're out of touch? Because a fish doesn't rotten from the tail. I say no more. When the head is out of touch, all the rest of them are they are beholden that they could come and talk down to people. Talking down to people. Yeah. And फ़ारिश Al-Wawi says, I understand that, there's hungry people. Well, so them saying one thing, and Faris, who living off of the government, $20 to $30 million a year guaranteed, saying, and he have more than them, he have more than Gonzalez, he have more than 𝗪𝗪, he have more than 𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗃, and he telling them, no boy, they hungry people, boy. Wrong with all you. Yeah, boy. And I making more than all you. Look, boy, 𝗪𝗃𝗃 and 𝗪𝗪𝗃 and Gonzalez and them better go from somewhere, but just look, go from there.
And then look, and here now, the other day, right? They spent all this. I even want to quote the figure to have this independence celebration, right? And now I understand some child went to school and something fall and bust the child head open. A piece of the building break off. The San Juan North Secondary School. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Piece of the concrete fall and damage the child. And you all have the children going to school housed in these edifices that are, I don't know, no? Shaky. Huh?
Hazardous.
Yeah. And you're telling people sacrifice? Sacrifice?
And use a coal pot or bike to work. When I go in my Prado and I get to... So listen now. In Scotland, I want you, right, to use a coal pot for 1 month. Okay? You have to be the example. You have to be the change. You want to see...
right to work. Right to work.
Right. I want to see you use a coal pot for 1 month. And shall we take a video of you using a coal pot to boil your water, to cook your food, to fry your bake? I mean,
no, that's only for him to roast breadfruit.
Oh, all right. Okay, that's sorry, Tommy. Nice.
But I'm sorry I couldn't come on camera tonight. But listen, Ansel, here in my head, right? I tell you, I want to connect the dots, right? Okay, I'm making this is just an assumption, eh? I'm making $1,000 a month since 2013. Let's assume, eh? You ain't give me no raise like now, eh? And you come now.
Say 2,000. Say 2,000.
All right, let's say 2,000. You ain't
2,000.
giving me no raise since 2013, eh? Right? You come now and you raise the price. The price of food going up. Price of light, water, or everything same $2,000. And you and my tax paying dollars. And you know why I say my? Because every time I come to Trinidad and Tobago, 𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗁𝗃,
Talk.
And I spend money in Trinidad and Tobago.
Tell them
I get charged value added tax.
Full 100. Okay? Tell them.
Right? So I am entitled to the perks as a born Trinidadian in the country. I was waiting for somebody to attack, and it really roused me up. Huh? And according to them, I have changed over. How do you want to quote the figure? When I come to Trinidad in the last 10 years, spending all this money in Trinidad and Tobago, charging me value-added tax. And I'm not entitled to my ID card. See corruption, all going on with?
But Diana,
corruption. Wait a minute, answer me finish now. I come in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's assume, and I bring $3,000 US. That's assuming I may bring more, but you don't want to tell them. I should be able to go into a bank and give the bank the $3,000 US dollars and say, okay, change my money for me to TT and make me accessible in my bank account. And that's the way all you can get foreign exchange. Huh? And it's 350,000 and we go home every year. You know how much foreign exchange that is? But no, all you ain't thinking so. All you just thinking to harass people at the airport. Where you staying? How long you staying? Why you come here for? Huh? All the nonsense you all going on with. When I pay the taxi driver, my driver, he go and I buy food, and wherever I buy food, I get my nails done and my hair done. I go on a tour out in the 𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 or whatever. I go to a Sunday school. I go down 𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Avenue. You see money I'm spending? I talking for me, eh? And you all tell me I'm entitled to the perks as a born Trini, spending all this money in Trinidad and Tobago. You all need to fix it. Karen Nunez Teixeira, fix it. Fix it now. I'm sick of them inside there. I'm telling the people to sacrifice $2,000 a month. What more are they going to sacrifice? What more are they going to sacrifice? Why don't you sacrifice your car? Sacrifice all your fancy hairdos and your nail jobs and stuff. Why don't you sacrifice that so those little children can go to a school that ain't hazardous and the concrete ain't going to fall on them? Why don't you sacrifice, you Mr. Scotland, why don't you sacrifice your gas stove to members of Trinidad and Tobago that ain't got no stove to cook on? Why don't you sacrifice it and use a coal pot? Only to get me vexed, sir. The storm vexed today, boy. Better stay calm. Go ahead, Tommy.
No, Diana, you are absolutely right. Every time I go home, right, and I pay VAT, and you know the audacity of some people, but you don't pay no tax here. You don't pay no tax here. If I send Western Union, I have to pay tax on that. There's a cost to that. If you send Western Union to Trinidad,
thank you.
You think you're gonna send that for free? Look, only better really use Google and truth, eh? Google, tell them people and them to use Google, eh? Because the kind of nonsense people that be talking, nonsense, you know, nonsensical. It just doesn't make any sense. And the thing about it is this, eh? Listen, if there's a UNC, a PDP, a PEP, a COP, a PNM, a ILP, a NTA, a what's 𝗪𝗪𝗶𝗃 party again?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Whatever it is, you have a right to defend your party at all costs. But don't just defend them blindly. Don't defend them when they're wrong. Try to bring them up. Make them do better. Make them do better. Don't just go along to get along. That's why I'm telling them to go along, get along, gang. They're going along just to get along.
Yep.
Right? And then I tell them they're in HDD these days, hypocritical, deceitful, and disingenuous. They're not high definition, you know. They're hypocritical, deceitful and disingenuous. And let me say this, Diana. And I want to say to them, I want to talk to this my P&M friend in here. What is his name again? Hold on, what is his name? Let me see if I see him. All right, let me finish up the chat here before we go. Huh? Romeo, yeah, Romeo.
Romeo.
I want to get a Romeo. Romeo, I'll get to you just now. Yeah, Romeo. Yeah, Romeo. Right, so let me finish here. So Albert says, good evening, Anselm, Tommy, Diana. 𝗪cie says, I'm waiting for that man to come around my area to tell him where to put that coal pot. Because I other side like acting up. Oh God, 𝗪cie, take it easy. Don't know, no, 𝗪cie. No good. Yeah, Ulrich, you thought I didn't know who you was yesterday when I stopped you. Look, Ulrich don't even know who 𝗪cie was. Ulrich, we have some breaking news on Ulrich too, eh? So always stay tuned. Breaking news, eh? 𝗪cie says, all I want for Christmas is a bike or a coal pot. Please ask in advance. 𝗪cie, we go take care of that tonight because, you know, let me do wait. Let me see. Let me do wait. Let me show you right away because hold on, where this thing gone? All right, hold on, eh? Let me show you. What has happened is that hold on.
All the money you spend when you go to Trinidad and Tobago. And I only speaking for me. I know that I don't know what everybody else is spending. Huh? All that money you spending. Right, Tommy?
But it should be told, I have a house in Trinidad, so I have to maintain it monthly. I have to maintain it. I have to send remittances to get the yard.
And stressing you at the airport. Or only getting you 3 months and all. What kind of madness is that? I born there, only gave me 3 months because of the passport I'm using. Are they crazy? If I decide I don't want to go back, well, what they gonna do? Tell me what they're gonna do. Oh, you have to go and file a claim. File a claim to stay where? Where born? When you get it, that's archaic. That is archaic.
So folks, this is what happened, right? We hold on. We are trouble sharing that video. No, that's not a video. Hold on. Not supposed to be a video. Oh, I get it. But no, I get it. That's my mistake there. So yeah, we're gonna get back to that though. You know, so this thing, man, we how do we make things better if we just going along to get along? How do we make things better? How do you no Diana and Tommy, how do you make things better?
No, I understand you have to guard against money laundering and all these kind of things, right? But I was saw a source of funds and I know people is do thing, wash money and all that nonsense. But a person like myself, I don't have time for that. I come and put my few little money in the bank that I can have what do you call it, TT dollars to do my business, and I fortify and all the foreign exchange. I don't understand. I don't understand from the airport to wherever you're going, them business, them government entities, they're treating you as a suspect. You're suspect.
But it's all foolish because it's not top down. It's not coming from here to there. It's from there to here.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Yeah,
they just playing the fool. They're playing the thing with the big ears and the bushy tail.
Yeah, what you come here for? I mean, what I come here for?
Where's that, Tommy? They playing what?
They're playing the thing with the big ears and the bushy tail.
What is that, Tommy? I don't know what that is.
The donkey.
I think it's 𝗪𝗪𝗪 initials.
Okay.
Don Quixote.
So folks, what happened is that you all know Ulrich is the #1 entrepreneur in the village, right?
Oh,
and
Lord.
Ulrich seizes opportunities as soon as they come. He don't waste no time. So Ulrich has diversified again. He has now created Ulrich Coal Pots Incorporated.
Oh God, Paul.
Ulrich is our boss. He's our boss. So anybody looking for coal pots, please call Ulrich at 1-800-ULRICH. Right? Ulrich has now diversified into coal pots. But not only that, let me show you something else. Ulrich has
investors.
Yeah, Ulrich, if you need any investors, let me know. right? But not only that, but Ulrich has again diversified somewhat again. Let me see. He has diversified somewhat again. Let me see here. Here we go. So Ulrich, this is Ulrich diversification even more, right? He has gone now into mergers and acquisition. He have merged with a Spanish person. Only watch this.
Oh,
This is Ulrich merger now. Ulrich Incorporate and Cientista Angolano.
What? Who's that now?
Yeah, he's sending showers. Just showers.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man. Come to the shower. Like the shower I want to play. So let me remove it and start it over. Let me remove that and start it over. I want to show you.
Ulrich said no discount on he cool pot.
No discount on the cool pot?
Nope.
No, Ulrich. You gotta give people a little something, man.
Oh my.
Ulrich thing I'm playing, yeah, man. Hold on. Hold on, Ulrich.
It ain't coming up.
It ain't coming up. So we gotta get it. We gotta. That's Ulrich other diversification that he's into. Right? Yeah. Ulrich into diversification again. Maybe if I put, hold on, let me try something. Let me see if I put it over
approaching top of the hour.
All right, yeah. So folks,
what time the train comes in?
Say that again.
9:30 somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah, about 9:30. Let's see if we can put it over here. If I put it over here, I'll see if it plays over here. Hold on. Let me see if it
Top of
plays
the
over.
hour, Anselm. Top of the hour.
Yeah. Okay, when we come back, we play this. In the Village with the 𝗏𝗏𝗃 and WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after the short messages. You know how long we play this thing here, boy? All right, let me get that. Hold on.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE. You're
95.9.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Presentation. Here we go with number 40, Henson Wright's Diary of a Madman.
Pusha! Which one of the cows them a tell lie on me? Which one of the cows let me talk to him? Imagine being a madman trying to live normal in a society crazier than me. Imagine there's no treatment for my ailment, which is total insanity. Now imagine say that St. real full up, it have more mad people outside than in. People from the bottom right up to the top, like it's an asylum we live in. People in office, people in control, to people who live in their own little worlds. We're trying to change our mistakes and faults by doing the same things to get new results. I see a madman who played all games with FIFA. Around the world they know him as Jack the Ripper, but today he's Godfather to Trinidad. Not because we dance, but because we're mad. And now that we have a new Prime Minister who needs a private jet, she's a frequent flyer. Yet we condemn Patrick Manning, we treat him bad. Not because we're dunce, but because we're mad. And just so one day voices start to tell me, no, I alone mad is the whole country. In the same vein, the voices explain, it makes no sense. I try to be seen. I had the madman look and the madman walk. It's only madness I just talk. I'm a madman eating out a garbage bin, where dopishness does make sense to it. Ebusha! Hey! 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗹. Don't cost nobody first. Langshaw, man. And I study in Woodford Square. I graduate there with a degree in ideology. Yet people who went UWE and foreign university coming back crazier than me. Go talk about our engineers struggling for years to solve the flood problems in TNT. With squatters building in swamps, some on riverbank getting compensated big money. Insurance and bank doing big business. No one regulated their wickedness. Poor people must now seek their own interests. And I decide to go in parliament just to piss, cause a madman who refused McDonald's money. Say McDonald's making the country unhealthy, yet Angostura money will love that bad. Not because we dance, but because we mad. We had an SOE just to root out ganja. Gang members walk free because of a flawed law. We complaining that crime bad in Trinidad. Not because we're dance, it's because we mad. And just so one day voices start to tell me, no, I alone mad is the whole country. In the same vein, the voices explain, it makes no sense that I try to be sane. I had the madman look from a madman land. It's only madness I don't understand. I'm a madman drifting further out to sea, and my partnership still makes sense to me. Hey, Busha! I'll always just 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗹. Don't cost nobody first. Langshaw, man! Here it is. Trinidadians, we're not thinking, cause we're still drinking and driving hard on the road. The undertaker's making a killing, and with morgues always overload. Young fellas, they can't drop low. They're driving real slow when the traffic light is on green. As soon as it changes yellow, they pull the nitro. It's the most speed that you see. Swinging inside streets without no signal. Stopping without indicating at all. If you try to warn them about the stunts, they're tossing up your mother behind and front. And this young girl crossing the road down in town, behaving like she then is young. Moving real slow, mucking up real bad. It's not done, she done, it's just. And a youth man walk under and walk over. He feel he faster than a motorcar. A forklift come down, fuck him up very sad. Not because he dances, because he man. And just so one day the voices that tell me, no, I alone, man. It's the whole country. In the same vein, the voices explain, it makes no sense. I'm trying to be sane again. I had the madman look and the madman smell. From a distance, anyone could tell I'm a madman who always in the habit of using public officers' toilet. I'll always just 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗹. Langshaw, man. Now is madness a perception or a reflection of my people's identity? My people in the police, my people as priests, my people in the judiciary, my people in the customs who are accustomed to bring in the drugs and the guns and drop them off in John and on the beat. So my children have to pay the price. Mad people working in we hospitals. They're drawing big money for no care at all. Mad people in schools teaching our children. Trinidad, I'm sorry for them. It's my mad partner who tell me recently TNT one day will end up like Haiti. A pangea crackroach suffering real bad. Not because we done, but because we spend and spend till the oil money done. And nothing yet coming back from our tourism. Who driving SUV but ride a box cat and don't know them mad. They believe the smart is just so one day the voices are tell. No, I alone mad is the whole country. In the same vein, the voices explain. It makes no sense. I'm trying to be sane again. I have a madman spirit and a madman heart. My great-great-grandchildren are to pay for that. I'm a madman who destroyed Trinidad. I'm not believing that I'm real mad. I'll always just polyphemus, blasphemous, don't touch nobody first. Suffering from photosynthesis. Thank you very much, Skillet Park. Thank you.
A madman, boy. A madman, Tommy, boy. A madman. Deep, Tommy. Deep. Tommy. Let me just go to the chat and clear up some things here in the chat here. Let me see. Let me go back here. All you welcome, Romeo. I didn't welcome Romeo, boy. All you welcome Romeo, no, man. I want to take one. I start Romeo coming because I want to come back to it. I want to come back to Romeo, boy. Let me see.
Talking about Madman, remember Rudder had one? The chant of the Madman was one.
Yeah. We go play that one too.
This is a hit.
Yeah, so here is Romeo, right? Romeo says, let me put Romeo on the screen. Romeo, you see, Dr. Rowley for you, not Rowley, yeah? So, Romeo, let me show you something, eh? You're still there? I hope you didn't go, I hope you didn't go, because we want to give you guys a little bit of lessons. When you come into the village, it's lessons, boy, lessons. We love to give lessons in the village. Let me show you something, Romeo. Wait now, man. Oh, you know what? What did I do with that? Oh, okay. I know what I gotta do. Yeah, I want to show Romeo something because you see. Okay, I gotta move one of these. Let me hold on, I have too much of things in there. Yeah. All right. Oh, let me show Ulrich next business. See, thing done. Ulrich boy, I give you credit, partner. I give you real credit. I give you credit. All right, let me get back to the. Eh?
That's a shower?
Yeah, what you mean? Is that shower? What do you think? You think Ulrich diversifying in joke? Now, Romeo, I want you to read this. Tommy, read that for me.
Yo, Prime Minister.
Let's read in red.
Prime Minister Rowley to host media conference.
Okay, and if I say Rowley, am I incorrect? This is from the Prime Minister's office. They're calling him Rowley, right?
That's his name. You're not calling him out of his name.
How could that be disrespectful if I calling him what the office of the Prime Minister calling him? How could that be disrespectful? All you help me. This is a press release on July the 18th, 2022. Prime Minister Rawley to hold media conference, time 10:30 a.m. This is from the office of the Prime Minister. And them want to say he was disrespectful to the Prime Minister. This is their press release. Their press release. And Romeo and them want to come and talk stuff because they doesn't know what they're talking. I tell them, you know, if it's one thing, we try to be as factual as possible when we hand out information. So Romeo, maybe what you need to do, Romeo, is to go get this post and send it to the office of the Prime Minister and tell them, listen, even all you, something wrong with all you. Something wrong with all you. Because this says Prime Minister Rawley. So if I call him Rawley, that's not disrespectful. You know what that's like, Tommy and Diana? When I said the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago, his words, not mine. That's his words. If I repeat his words, how could I be disrespectful?
Mm-hmm.
How could
but nobody didn't put Dr. Rawley. They put just Prime Minister Rawley.
Rawley, that's what they put. So if I call him Rawley, I follow in their footsteps.
That's right.
Right? If you want to say Prime Minister Rawley, okay, I say Prime Minister Rawley. But that's what they put. I didn't make that up.
Dr. Rawley for you, not oh Lord, they brainwash.
Look, you see Dr. Rawley there? Romeo? Romeo, show me where you have Dr. Rawley there. Show me now. Eh?
Oh.
Well, look.
You see, if you say Rawley, you mean that he could be wrong. But if you say Dr. Rawley, the doctor is never wrong.
Right? But Tommy, I want to twist that around. Them saying Rawley, so I could be wrong by saying Dr. Rawley because them saying Rawley. So I'm following what they're saying. That comes out of his office, you know.
And look, somebody say here the water coming out brown. That is 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗃 all again. Oh, they behave yourself, Diana. Oh no. The water coming out brown.
That's when there's a lot of rain that happens.
But Anselm, I mean, come on. That shouldn't be happening. What is
it's a system.
I feel for my brethren and sisters there,
well, look, wait. Look at this. Look at this. Look, KB United. You see? Now, KB United. You know, KB United says, Prime Minister Rawley is more respectful than just Rawley. Come now, man, you're playing smart with foolishness. How are you playing smart with foolishness? What is in here? What in here that I did not use? What in there that I said Rawley is incorrect? Do they say former Prime Minister 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗃? They say Kamla. Do they say former Prime Minister Mrs. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗃? Or do they say opposition leader? Say Kamla.
And they say KPB.
Right. Right. Or they say Biden.
Yep.
Biden. So what?
Yep.
What makes it different than other people? This is what the post says from the office of the Prime Minister, Rawley.
Hey, watch it. That's Mr. Big Stuff. He's higher than every star above.
Oh, yeah. You know what it is? You're right, Tommy.
And it's a republic, and he's the man with all the power. So watch it,
yeah. He's bigger than everybody. But I playing smart with foolishness.
But look, they just call the Prime Minister in Barbados Motley.
No.
And she don't take a thing to that. That's her name. Motley. Right. You understand?
No. You ain't supposed to say that. Hey, Eugene, welcome. Highly welcome. Right? Troy Smith. Welcome. Always say that shower special, that's only for Rawley and his cabinet. Yeah. Romeo and KB send an email to the office of the Prime Minister and tell them when they put something up, put up Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. 𝗍𝗶.
Yeah.
Put it up. They already, you know, the train have already left this station, you know.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead. Somebody put up a thing, Christopher Columbus discovered Trinidad. Christopher Rowley destroying it. I said, Lord, Trinidad, you know, they're not easy, you know. They're not easy, boy.
Judy, welcome. Judy, welcome.
They're not easy, boy. But when I saw the thing with the piece of concrete falling on the chat, I see myself, and it showed somebody, I don't know who, I can't remember who shared it with me, somebody in the chat. And you look up and you see where the concrete fall from. In the school, you know, the thing dilapidated. Huh?
Yeah, 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗁 don't know who's the madman. 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗁, figure it out for yourself now, man. Figure out that, man. What? Ulrich say you used to manage. Who used to manage Ulrich? The madman?
Oh boy.
I don't know. Hey, you see everybody say good night to Romeo. Lana says Scotland, where we getting wood for the coal pot?
Wait.
Oh God. She said, didn't you know cutting down trees is a charge if you don't have a pass?
Yeah, boy. That's a nice thing to speculate. Unless they're gonna import the coals from Guyana or whoever.
That's what I'm thinking. Once you import the coals, you might as well buy gas.
Yeah. Rennie, welcome. Yeah. I mean, you know, and
watch now, them young people ain't know how to start a coal pot. Plenty place gonna get burned down here.
Yeah, Lana says she want. You know, Lana, that's true. You know, let me go back to scrubbing board in Trinidad and Tobago, yes, and blue soap, and what is that? A gingy to wash.
KB United is called 𝗪𝗵𝗵𝗃 or 𝗪𝗵𝗃 or Prime Minister 𝗪𝗵𝗃. It's called she has the last name. Don't tell me. Okay?
I just call him Biden in this country.
And they just call Biden.
Or Joe.
Yeah.
All, you know,
and Harris. This called she Harris, the VP. So who is he?
Kamala.
Oh,
Kamala. Yeah, Kamala. When you say you have organic wheat teas, everybody not here.
He have organic wheat? Hey, Rennie, be careful. We name watching, you know, Heinz watching, he might come to get some, you know, watch yourself.
Eileen says, I have something better than bike, rollerblades, boy. I go sell like hot cakes. You know what I do, you know, boy, rollerblades, boy? You could go on
the highly see me rolling down the pavement with holes in it in Trinidad in rollerblade.
Look, 𝗪𝗏𝗃 started to make. Go ahead, Tommy.
What happens that there are alternatives, but is there infrastructure to support it?
None.
Look, 𝗪𝗏𝗃 starting to make skirt out of coconut branch. Yes, time's getting harder. What do you mean, coconut skirt, boy? Palm leaf skirt.
You'll get some, what you call it, some silkworms and run your own silk and learn to make your own cotton and thing. Matter of fact, you gotta go back. Since they're going back to coal pot, they might as well go and grow cotton too.
Yeah. Judy says, Wall Street, Trinidad citizens have absolutely no self-pride, self-respect. The government making mockery of citizens and they're accepting that laughing. That's why PNM treat them indignant, inhumane.
Yep.
Oh, they defending the indefensible, man. I mean, they defending it. Eugene Julian, welcome. Yeah. Ulrich say it was a pleasure to meet 𝗪𝗏𝗃. But Ulrich, you didn't know she when you meet she? She had introduced you to herself. What happened? You're so busy with all your entrepreneurship and all the busy. You get big now. You forget people in the chat. You get too big for yourself. Anyway, you go stop putting up your business on them, eh? We had to stop that. No, we go stop putting up all them business and them, all them money you make. That's the other day. Yeah, he only start with 2 plants, you know. Or remember that?
Yeah.
When you just have 2 plants, that is it, you know. That's how we start. You see what has happened? All look like them ministers in the PNM now, eh? You understand? They went in there and they had 1 suit and 2 suits, and now they have 10 suits, and they're driving Prado and Mercedes Benz and Rolls Royce and BMW and thing. They know people, they're passing them straight. Yeah. All right.
You know, to me, I might be wrong, but you see them, the incumbent, they're clueless of what's going on in society. You know, they're clueless and out of touch.
Listen, it don't matter. Right now, either side is the same foolishness. Remember what Jack said about Munilal? He said that he didn't have money to buy 1 barrel when he went in.
Yeah.
But he barrel of troubles now.
Victor, a special welcome to you, man. Bishop Victor. Bishop, are you going, partner? You're fully well inside. Bishop says he just changed the rules. No special convention. Yeah, and you know, it's funny, eh? I listen to this. I do understand this, eh? And that is the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM call an internal election, right? You get 7 to 10 days, right, to put a slate together. 7 to 10 days, you know. And then there's nomination day. And after that, you get 1 month for election. 1 month, you know.
It's December 4th is the election, eh?
Yeah. 1 month. And people sit down there and take that, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Think about that. You think them could come in America and tell you, hey, all right, listen. Listen, yesterday, all right, nomination, right? Election a month away. And them sit down there and take that, boy. You take that and cool it, boy. They take that, take bamboo and wind to the side.
Like dictatorship in action there.
I mean, really and truly, boy. And them ain't saying nothing, you know.
Let's see what happens on December 4th.
No, well,
I don't see why. I see the PN. I see them as like a board. I have a chairman of the board. I ain't doing stupidness to cripple the company or devalue the stock. You're gonna leave him there and let the stock get devalued and the company crippled financially. No, they just remove him as chairman of the board and put somebody else. By whatever, however they do it, by voting, by proxy, by, am I right or wrong?
Let me ask a question, Anselm. If Karen wins on December 4th, what effect would it have on the governance as it is immediately?
Well, look at it this way, right? It's not going to have any effect immediately because Dr. Rowley is still the prime minister. The only way they can remove Dr. Rowley is if they bring a no, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, is if they bring a no vote of no confidence against him. And and we're gonna ask Dr. Shane Mohammed that, and a certain amount of people in the parliament vote against him, then he will have to go out and they have to call a new election. You understand?
So what are they waiting for?
Well, the election is due when it's due, and that's that. And the likelihood of it being called prematurely is very slim.
Let us continue down that road because the people not satisfied, and I know them people in there that get a whiff and a taste of power. They don't want to give it up, right? So the majority they like the position in.
You'd be surprised to know how many people are good with what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I try to talk to people. I sent the post that we were circulating to certain people, and they get back to me, and the response was kind of shocking. But I said, okay,
no,
because it's not affecting them. You know what it is. The working class, the middle class, you have the upper class, and then you have the people who can't even get into a class. Right? So that working class, middle class, some of them are staunch, diehard. Everything they see is red. You can't come and say, hey, let me try this color. I don't want that is them you have to try and You understand what I'm saying?
Some people
Get
are
through to
comfortable.
it.
Some people are comfortable, and it don't matter if don't matter if the red house burned down. They're jamming still.
Yep. Yep. And that is how a bourgeois society does operate. Bourgeois. You can see the gap between the rich, they have, and who ain't got nothing at all, and who trying to get. It is clearly visible in Trinidad and Tobago. And some people come in and say, well, they have poor people all over the world. Yeah, no lie. But we dealing with our birth country. We want it fixed.
Right.
We want it fixed.
But
you know why? Because we tired pulling we pocket and doing Donna Cox work. We tired sacrificing 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗵𝗹. You must sacrifice this lady down here for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I sacrifice a whole lot. And I have records to prove it, eh? Okay, good. Go ahead.
We sacrifice.
So listen to this, right? In an election, you never know who's going to win.
Nope.
Ulrich, you never know, Ulrich. Nobody knows. No one absolutely knows. Once you get in a race, any race, you have an opportunity to come out victorious. Now, mind me, election is a zero-sum game. A zero-sum game is somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. It's like when you go to the casino. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. That's just the way it is, right? Election is a zero-sum game. But people could tell you all kind of things before the election. Don't worry, man, I go vote for you. Look at the Tobago election. Look at the Tobago election, right?
Anselm, something I always say about the casino. When you go to the casino, you know who always wins? The casino owner.
Yes.
Because if he loses, he'll be out of business.
No, that's just the way it is. You know, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. You know,
you're right, Lan. I wanted to give in grants for coal pot and bicycles.
Yeah, because what it is that Alvin Singh say his horse is Rowley. Yeah, but I don't think some of us understand what's going on with the level of people that are disgruntled in Trinidad and Tobago, you know.
They're not in touch. They're not in touch.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look what Keith Scotland, Shamfa Kojo, right? Marvin Gonzalez said just recently.
They're not in touch.
And then Faris Alwawi, who have more money than three of them put together, say something totally different on the other side.
Yeah. Now we're talking about Faris. Why he don't sacrifice some of them? Wherever it is, how he's getting extra money on his side. Why he don't sacrifice that and pass it along to the people? And you know what? I don't. People. It's okay. It's okay. You know, when we making our ends meet. You ain't making it. So give me a chance now. You got. It's okay. Let them suffer. It's okay. Yeah, let them suffer. My pocket and my bank account is looking healthy, but people in my constituency tonight, right? Some of them have food on the table. They don't know where the rent coming from next. It's okay. That's okay. Only like it so. It's okay. That's what they want. Don't bother me. Right? Can't make it. When Christmas comes, and some people tell me, well, I see people driving big cars and they're jamming still. That is the elite in the society. And you can't judge the whole society by them. You do have poor people in Trinidad and Tobago. And people are finding it hard to make ends meet. I cannot look at somebody driving a big car or give me Gatilda or whatever. Give me the names for me, I don't know. And say, well, I seen a lot of big cars. So I ain't gonna help this person, with a book list.
But
I don't know.
But Manning said, why you have to use premium? You rather use premium, right? Why you using premium? If you have a can, you're using premium, then they should be able to afford it, right? Based on if you're using premium, them fellas are out of touch.
They're out of touch.
Them fellas just out of touch with reality. The bunch of them, and a fish doesn't rotten from the tail.
Aslam, I brought up the argument about the petrol prices to one particular person in Trinidad. And you know what he says to me?
What?
They should remove all the subsidies. Every time you turn around, the roads clog up with cars, traffic jam everywhere, too many cars. I said, what? I said, okay. You get me?
Yeah. Something I'm keep getting this notice. I have to go in and fix it. Yeah, I'm shocked that Manning too. You know, just the name alone should invoke some sort of compassion towards these people. You should be riding on that name. You know, you have people playing the ASS. I mean, there are people who try to con the system, but do you suffer everybody because of a few?
What,
you don't do that.
What did Donald Cook say back then? Greedy? People greedy?
Yeah. You don't do that. You don't suffer everybody because of a few No, come on. You need to. The whole system needs fixing. That it can. What you putting down a new digitalization infrastructure for? With New Balance is the name of it. The technology information. Something balance. I can't get the name correct now. But we spend all these million US dollars to do what? To put down an infrastructure, and then you have the same old things going on. And you people, I'm not saying in the chatter, but whoever's listening, you're all conning the system. You all need to stop. And I don't agree with it. You need to stop. You're stopping things from going to a little child that really need it, or an elderly person. All you need to stop with this going in 41 constituency and registering yourself. All you need to stop with that nonsense. That's part of fixing the society. And if you get caught doing it, I think they should give you whatever punishment you deserve.
Listen, I just think that the ministers have to be the example for the people. Right? All you remember this one? All you remember this?
Which one?
Justifying not using the Providence seat, which is the green seat here, because they don't want to fragment communities within that seat. Now, one would ask, why did the EBC not go and create a seat here?
Nobody lives there. Madam Speaker. And then the member of Barataria pulls out his map and is recommending that the EBC should create an electoral district in the main ridge, Madam Speaker. In the main ridge, Madam Speaker, the main ridge is the oldest forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere. The third highest as it relates to biodiversity in the nation, 350 different plant species, 12 endemic to the area, Madam Speaker. Nobody lives there.
But is that true though? Is that true? They were trying to cut out seats up in the main ridge?
I don't know, you know. I don't know. I don't know. But
if they were, well, you know, as far as I know, nobody really don't live up in the main ridge, according to the tour guide, right? It's just of birds and in life that is indigenous. And correct me if I'm wrong, they said the main ridge is as old as the Constitution of the United States, something like that. It's a really old place. And I had the privilege of going, but I refused because I said, that old, like, I might bounce up a back with 10 wing up in there. I don't know.
So here's 𝗪𝗪𝗶𝗫. Wait, hold on.
as we read the budget and implement new measures, all of it is geared towards improving the lives of all Trinidadians and Tobagonians. When there was much more, many years ago, you had the subsidies afforded to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And now, even in a time when there is less, we still try to maintain that level of assistance to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. There's much to be proud of and to be happy about as we expand once again the GATE program to allow young people to take advantage of free education. We've built a country on free education. No matter what takes place in the world economically, we in the government of Trinidad and Tobago have held our commitment as it relates to ensuring that these youngsters go to school and have access to free quality education from kindergarten or early childhood center levels all the way up to university. And there are so many other grants and so many opportunities provided for us. And there are difficult decisions that we have to take, that we must take, not only for ourselves, but the little children who are coming up among us. You hear the cries of everybody who wants everything right now. What are we prepared to do? What kind of sacrifices are we prepared to make? What kind of investment are we prepared to make now so that the little children who are coming up among us will have something to look forward to? And this is something we really have to take into consideration. Everybody wants everything for nothing.
Are you willing to make a sacrifice? And do you look?
What's up?
Does she look as if? Does she look as if times are really lean for her?
Tommy, I like how you put that. I like how you put that, Tommy. Does it look?
She look like she missed one meal.
Does it look like if she has made any sacrifice? That is part of the problem that we are talking about. If you want people to make sacrifice, you got to show them that you got to make sacrifice first, and then come to people and ask them to make sacrifice. You can't come into the people looking all high and mighty, and you telling them, well, everybody needs to make everybody, Shamfa.
Everybody want everything for nothing.
Really, Shamfa?
It starts with the man in the mirror.
Correct is right. You come in high and mighty like Pontius Pilate, and you telling them, you come and you want to pontificate on them and tell them all you have to make sacrifice. So you should tell the people, well, listen, I made a sacrifice for the last 6 months. I donated my salary to my constituency in Tobago. Right? I made the sacrifice, and I'm asking you now to make a sacrifice.
Yep. And use that contribution toward needy causes. That is sacrifice, Madam Kojo. Yeah. That is sacrifice, man. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, let me continue to listen to her. Listen.
Everybody wants everything, but willing to give up nothing.
No, my question to Shamfa would have been, Shamfa, what have you given up? What have you given up, Shamfa? Right?
Right, be an exemplar.
You got to be the exemplar.
Oh, yeah.
What have you given up?
Give up the car and ride.
Now. We all want a good life now. But what kind of investments are we making for the younger ones? What kind of preparations are we making for the younger ones? There are people among us right now who don't have a proper savings for themselves. Far less have a proper savings for their children to go to.
Stop there, Ansel.
Yeah.
Stop there. Oh, so we acknowledging that there are people in the society who ain't have no bank account. I like to hear that, Madam Kojo. I like to hear that. Huh? You're acknowledging it. Go ahead, Tommy.
In order for them to have that, they have to first have the basic. Do they have the basic?
A job.
And then the
job. I like how she gonna. There are people who can't even have a basic bank account in. And I is one of them because all you won't give me my ID card. All you won't give me my ID card. But go ahead.
But your reasoning is different to the person on the ground who don't have any income.
Yeah. There's some people, yeah, she acknowledging. I like, you see how they must tie up themselves?
For the younger ones, what kind of preparations are we making for the younger ones? There are people among us right now who don't have a proper savings for themselves. Far
Oh God, you saw them out of touch. You saw them out of touch. See, everybody wants everything for free. But I don't have a bank account. If I don't have a bank account, I don't have a bank account. What that means to say, I must don't have a work. I must be living from not even paycheck to paycheck, from family to family. That's how hand to mouth. There we go, Tommy. Thank you. Hand to mouth. Yeah.
Let's have a proper savings for their children to go to university. We as a government have to take that into consideration and make the necessary changes and do the necessary things that we have to do now to allow a better future for the children who are coming up.
Shamfa, you are right there, you know. You are right there, you know. When they go start to do that?
Oh Lord.
You know, but what happens is that when you have somebody like that making them statements, it you know who it reflects on? The head.
But as the fish doesn't rotten from the tail.
Reflects on our boss.
I mean, you are absolutely correct.
So right? let me hear. So they don't have money to open a bank account. They don't have money to buy food.
What they make
Yeah. But wait now, Coach Jonah. All you have me working at 2013 salary still. Those that are working, how they making ends meet, and the basic necessities going up. Huh? And they tell me to go and ride a bike and go back to coal pot. That is like, Jesus, Lord, Father. Go ahead, Anselm. Go ahead.
Healthy and strong, looking good, well fed, because somebody else had to sacrifice then so that we can.
Rewind. Yeah, come again.
We as a government have to take that into consideration and make the necessary changes and do the necessary things that we have to do now to allow a better future for the children who are coming up. We sit here healthy and strong, looking good, well fed, because somebody else had to sacrifice then. So
stop. Looking good and well and healthy and well fed. You know, it have quite a few children in Trinidad and Tobago. They ain't getting no 3 square meals a day, you know. I know they're still giving them the school lunch, all the correct winner. Huh? And I don't know. And then you know what? You're not even taking into consideration their mental health coming out of this pandemic. All of that goes to your well-being, Minister Kojo. Only taking that into consideration. Look at the scoring rate. Look at the scoring rate for the SCA. Look at the passing mark. Only taking all them things into consideration. That all of that is tantamount to a healthy, well-functioning child. Huh? But you want people to make sacrifices? You're really taking in the health of these children? And they got to go back into a school and rewrite this exam? You're for real? Oh, man. But go ahead, Anselm.
That we can have now. So then why is it so hard for us now to sacrifice for the young children who are coming up?
Stress and pressure. Mommy and daddy done fighting already because hardly have money in the house. I hardly getting food to eat. Huh? And my mental health, I failed my SCA, so I had to go back into the same school, the dilapidated school. And I might be using the 3rd edition book. It called for the 5th edition, but I'm a thing of that. You could still learn with that. But all these things the children dealing with, and all they talk about sacrifice. Yeah, they're not well fed. Yeah, they hear the quarrel, the stressors that their parents are going through, the crime in the country. All those are stressors for children. Which is all you're really doing? What are you doing for the children? Yeah, what are we doing for the little ones? Let me stay on that avenue. What we doing? What are we sacrificing for them children in truth? What are we sacrificing? Tell me that. You can't get water in your house if you get 2 days a week, and if it come out, it brung like Morby. Children just pick up on stressors. I know. I've lived through them. I know. And then they go in school and they will fail, or they'll fight, or you know what? They'll get fed up and they'll come out and go join a gang. Go ahead, man.
I like to always say I came from a family of 8 children. We're all 1 year apart. So I'm 40, the brother before me is 41, the one under me is 39. And that is how my parents did it. But in the end, at the end of the day, they had to make it work. Same mother and father, at the end of the day, they had to make it work. And there are people who make a cry saying, poor people shouldn't have plenty children. I don't believe in that. My parents say make the children, train them well, and send them out into the world to be good citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and let them make more children. And do the same thing. And continue making that investment.
Are you encouraging people who are to make sacrifices in order to make more children?
To go and make more children.
Why are you
in this day and age?
Why are you encouraging that? You encouraging poor people who's suffering to go and make more children so they could suffer more. Or maybe under your boss, he can make some people richer so they can help them poor people get poorer.
Now that statement, sounds very wrong. You can that should not have come out of your mouth. Yeah, you praise your family, blah 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 blah. But I would not encourage poor people to be going and making a set of children now.
Let me make sure we heard it correctly. That we didn't.
Go ahead.
Well, and send them out into the world to be good citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and let them make more children. And do the same thing. And continue making that investment. I remember what.
Oh boy.
Hey, Anselm, she drink a cup of red sorrel before she went up on that podium.
Boy.
Good.
My mother breastfeed.
Go ahead, Tommy.
She drink green tea.
Jesus, Lord, Father, heaven,
and even in the way she raised us, when you got to the age of 12 years old, you're not getting any clim in your tea.
Now, Minister Kojo, while I agree with you, you mentioned quite poignantly that same mother and father, your papi stay in the house and he mind the children. That message, I agree with that message.
A great message.
Right? Great message there. But telling them to go and make more children and they're already poor, and you don't say that they can't even get a bank account? Come on. Go ahead.
You drink your bush tea just like that, because the milk is for the younger children. I gave you milk from age 0 to 12. When you go off to secondary school, the milk is for the younger children. We have to make that sacrifice so that they can have.
But wait now. How much I clean milk in Trinidad, boy? Hey, all they grow some bush and all they peeling, you know. I drink bush tea too. They had a tea that I can't get it called though. And when you boil it, it's green leaf, but it would turn milky looking. I can't remember the name. Honestly, I drink plenty bush tea too. Plenty bush tea. Mm-hmm. And when we remember when you went to school, you used to get the milk and biscuit. You get the milk and biscuit, Ansel?
Yeah. We used to get that in school.
And Tommy, you get milk and biscuit too?
Of course.
Yeah. We get that. You get that, right?
Yeah, I get plenty of that at Fatima RC. And when they had extra, they used to call me.
You know, I mean, to me, it just seemed to be that they are just out of touch.
Very much.
What's going on? They're out of touch.
Yep.
They're just out of touch. And even if you try to help them and tell them, listen, all you have to come down from there.
Mm-hmm.
No, all you have to come down from there.
Yep.
Because it just seems to me that the more they talk, that's why they need to have like a chief of staff, right? Who's gonna always stay on message. You see, like how Biden have a chief of staff, right? Mm-hmm. And that chief of staff, you will learn everything. They have a meeting on Friday. Every Friday, the press come, and the chief of staff gives you what the president wants you to what the president wants you to know. It's not people all over the place, all over talking all kind of thing, all kind of thing.
My mayor.
You know, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Anselm, my mayor, he has a chief of staff.
Yeah.
I said my mayor has a chief of staff.
Yeah. Yep. The chief of staff is the person that gives out the message. Every once in a while, ever so often, if the prime minister goes somewhere or the president goes somewhere, yeah, they will speak and so and so. But you know, you have to be singing from the same hymn book.
Hey, Eugene Julian,
I just see him.
Instead of criticizing, why not try to support continue oppressing poor people? You asking me to do that, Eugene Julian? Well, I will be no part of that. Instead, I will enlighten them to clear the ears and the eyes and everything out and listen carefully. Listen carefully and trying to tell them how to create intergenerational wealth, make the opportunities available for them. That's what they need to do. Instead of feeding at the political trough. Everybody feeding and healthy looking, and there's hungry, starving, unemployed people in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe let them, come out and actually, but it will get worse.
But my question to Eugene is this, right? In that, how do you make people better? By constructive criticism.
That's right.
If people continue to do the same thing and things get worse and worse, and nobody says anything, they will think it's okay. So he's saying, instead of criticism, why not try to support nonsense? Eugene, you want people to support nonsense, and you're taking what she said out of context. What's out of context? If you say everybody wants everything but willing to give up nothing, what does that mean, Eugene? Tell us what that means.
Including them.
Tell us how we're taking that out of context. This is it. This is our quota, and I wrote down the quota. Everybody wants everything but willing to give up nothing. I want to know what that means. Tell me what that means.
When she say everybody, she put herself in there by osmosis.
Everybody. 1.4 million people in Trinidad. I could say, based on this statement here, 1.4 million people in Trinidad want everything but willing to give up nothing.
Yep.
You see, and what it is, Eugene, what she should have said is, after, and I'm going to try to get the one where she was, when the person from CNC talked to her, CNC3, instead of saying, you know what, maybe I misspoke, right? Or she could have said, like, when Roger Clemens get busted for steroids, he come up with a new word. He said he misremembered, right? He misremembered. She could have said, you know what? I misspoke and I said, everybody wants everything. That's not what I meant. What I meant is there are certain people in Trinidad and Tobago who want everything, but is willing to give up nothing. Right? That statement is a clear statement, and you didn't put every Trinidadian under the bus.
Yep.
She threw every single Trinbagonian, Trinidad and Tobago under the bus by saying everybody, and she had an opportunity to correct it, and she doubled down on it. Not only that, the Minister of Public Utilities today was on IPNM 95.5 radio station, right? And he too had an opportunity to correct what he said about we may not be able to bake ham every month or make macaroni pie. He had an opportunity to correct it, right? You know what he said? He didn't correct it, he doubled down on it. And not only that, we can no longer afford to go to the movies twice a week. So wait now. You want to tell me and how I should go with my family? You want to tell me now for the little chiclets I getting, right? That if the outlet for me and my family is to go to theater once or twice a week, you tell me, nah, or I had to stop that. Hey, Eugene, I want to tell you right now, I don't want you to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of the week. I don't want you to do that.
Don't go to the gym. Don't do nothing.
No, don't go to the gym. No, I don't want that from you. I don't want that from you, Eugene. Stop it. Stop it. Because people can no longer, in this country, there are plenty of people suffering in this country, Eugene. So I want you to sacrifice for them people too.
And watch me now. I wonder, there's certain persons.
Eugene is my friend.
I know there's only PNM, like top of the hour.
Yeah. So let's go for a quick station identification. And of course, it's in the village. Eugene wife take away your phone, boy.
She turned off the modem.
Oh God. We're going to go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the 𝗩𝗶𝗃 and WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this. Of course, folks. Yeah. Hey, we all look like already gone over.
Yeah, he let him get to.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM. Information for Caribbean.
We got the change of government, and that was my choice. Now in anticipation of great improvement, we start to rejoice. Then we walk in for shouting one love anywhere we go. But how could we be preaching love when there is so much pain and sorrow? Well, after careful consideration, I'm forced to conclude, my friend, that we can have love and improvements in this land. We change our attitude. So let me tell you, friends, when I sit here and showing children that they care, teaching them to respect their elders everywhere, I'll be proud to stand up and share with my hands in the air. I'll shout, one love. Look, when some of our drivers in the massive taxis start discouraging school children from that blatant vulgarity, I'll be proud to stand up and share with my hands in the air. I'll shout, one love. Not before I'm sorry, good Lord. You hear it? Good Lord. And we're talking change.
Good Lord. Civil servants crying, the salary drop. While the already high cost of living still keep going up. Now when they argue, they are told that they're cutting salary. It's the only possible way to start rebuilding the treasury. But Lord, if the workers are forced to make this compromise, then could someone tell me why on earth the different people, the sidewalk vendors and the shopkeepers can't do likewise? So let me tell you, friends, look, when I see the poor man walking down the street, smiling again because the family please, I'll be proud to stand up and say, with my hands in the air, I'll shout, one love. Let me tell you, when them vendors take their hands from off the throat, when we could go shopping and come back with my money's worth, I'll be proud to stand up and say, with my hands in the air, I'll shout, one love. Not before I'm sorry. Good Lord. And every day we talking serious things, Lord. We talking. Look what's happening. We have joined the world in condemning South Africa. It is nice that we're trying to feed the hungry in Ethiopia. But while we're seriously trying to solve the problems out there, good Lord, we have a rapid increase in AIDS, vagrancy, poverty, and hunger right here. And now, when talking about prejudice, we couldn't ask for more. So I am simply saying, it's on these major problems that's affecting us in our land, we should declare war. So let me tell you, friends, look, when politicians, regardless of party, to show that they're serious about rebuilding this country, I'll be proud to stand up and cheer with my hands in the air and shout, one love. When we could eliminate from this society them degrading words, nigger and coolie, I'll be proud to stand up and cheer with my hands in the air, I'll shout, one love. Not before I'm sorry, good Lord. I say this land of ours.
And of course, we're talking change, we're talking change, we're talking change. That's what we're talking. Change, 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 change. We need change. And we cannot continue to do the same thing and expect to get different results. We just can't. We just can't. We just can't continue to do the same thing. And, you know, some people want to continue the same way. And, you know, you guys know that, know how I feel. And I feel as a supporter of the People's National Movement. I cannot talk for the UNC, but I could speak on behalf of the People's National Movement as a supporter of the People's National Movement, that I feel, you know, 𝗪𝗠 can bring the change, you know, we want to see in the People's National Movement, you know, and, you know, we just can't continue going on this way, you know, and I think it's about time that, you know, we have some change in the politics in Trinidad and Tobago, because, you know,
I'm hearing you, and I believe what you're saying. But back in 2014, I believe the same thing too. I don't know if you're with me.
Well, I think what happened. You mean right back in? Yeah. But you know what it is, though, Tommy. There's something in me, man, that tells me women do things a little differently.
But of course.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I just think women do things a little differently. And
but of course, it is proven.
I feel that with her leadership ability, her tenacity, her knowledge, her wisdom, I think she can have a significant impact in politics in Trinidad and Tobago.
You see, the reason why I say what I say is because I know what was being said by our current Prime Minister when he was not in government, and what he was espousing to do and to be. He became something different because once he got there, he had to answer to a certain faction in society. I'm wondering if that's not just the mode of operation that you need to employ in order to keep in that position. I'm just wondering.
Tommy, say that again. Say that again.
I'm wondering if there's a particular mode of operation that needs to be employed in order to keep that position.
Which position?
Prime Ministerialship.
A mode of operation that needs to be in place?
And me put the fear of God in all the people in there that they were frightened to even vote. But let me ask you something on Tommy's question.
No, but wait, Dana.
Understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you get power, you're looking at it one way. And once you get in there, you realize that there are invisible hands that control you. Invisible to us, the public, of course. We may say 1%ers, whatever we want to call them. And now we have to kowtow to them.
But Tommy, I still believe that if you are smart enough and innovative enough, you can do quite a bit in order to bring up the less fortunate, bring them up the ladder somewhat.
I'm not disputing that. All I'm simply saying is this, is if you want to hold on to power, maybe you just have to keep kissing up to that 1%.
Well,
yeah.
Well, this is how I look at it, right? First of all, Tommy, I don't think the 1% can elect any prime minister in Trinidad and Tobago.
I know they cannot, but I know their money can help you with your campaigning.
Well, yeah, Tommy, the money didn't help them in Tobago.
And okay.
So what I'm saying is
that what happened to Tobago is a quite different exercise to what goes on in Trinidad, and Trinidad politics is different. Think about it.
Mr. Trinidad, I don't know what you want. Go ahead. But something I ask you guys, in the internal election, is it open and will they know who voted for who? Or is it a secret ballot?
I think, I don't know, I think it will have a balance with all the names in it, and you have to fill in who you support, and you have to put it in a box.
Dr. Shane will answer that for us, I guess.
Yeah. He would know that. Because if it, I believe it should be secret. And that would cut out the retaliation nonsense.
No. Here's highly. Karen is a PNM other hand to trick voters to keep PNM in power.
Oh Lord.
Eileen, you know something? Eileen, you know sometimes you don't know that you don't know, right? And if I tell you that you don't know, you still won't know that you don't know. And if even people come and tell you that you don't know, You still don't want to know that you don't know.
But can I tell you something, Anselm? Before these things come to me. Now, a person I was speaking to, I don't like to call people's name, but they're an intellectual in Trinidad and Tobago. And when they saw the information about her tossing Miss Karen Nunes to share, tossing her hat in the ring, the person said, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned."
Diana, the person don't know what they're talking about.
I just bringing that up.
Listen, listen. Listen. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay. Listen. I mean, they don't know what they're talking about. They absolutely don't know what they're talking about. If you wasn't in the room, you don't know what you're talking about. And I can say that I was in the room. You don't know what you're talking about. I'll just leave it right there.
All right. I'm just telling you, I hear that that's some of the consensus out there, and this is coming from a learned individual.
But no, tell them that. And Hailey as well. Hailey, you wasn't in the room, so you speculating. You know what you're doing, Hailey? You like when I work on the New York Stock Exchange, right? And if I was a little wiser, I kept those 500 shares of Amazon that I bought. I speculated, and I speculated incorrectly. I speculated that Amazon was going to be a bust. And I sold my shares. And I speculated incorrectly because I wasn't sitting down in the room. You see what I'm saying? And that's what most of you guys are doing. You guys are just speculating how it come about. If she's a PNM, somebody from the PNM sent she, so she could, all of that. All of that. All I don't know. And I could speak because I was in the room. I'll leave it right there. I could speak. There is so much more that went into this. You guys would not believe it. It didn't end up the way it ended up. And I'll leave it right there. It did not end up the way it ended up, and I'll leave it there. Hailey say you have all right to speculate when it comes to PNM. Well, Hailey, I have all rights to correct you when I have all the information. You are absolutely correct. Everybody can speculate. But if a person have the information, they also have a right to correct you with your speculation. Right? Like I didn't have the information, and Amazon was the information that I had. I just look at it and I said, you know what? I don't think so. No. But if I had said, you know what? This is a long-term play. If I had just take the 500 shares and just leave it right there and don't touch it and say it's a long-term play, might just say, on the beach and you use Virgin Islands or in just taking it easy, relaxing myself.
Well, what would have been the value of those 500 shares today?
Well, Amazon went to like $2,500 for a share. They've been over. It split many times. It split many times. I don't even know the value because I don't go back and look. I don't even know what the value is now. As a matter of fact, let me see what the value is right now. It has split so many times. Let me see what the value of Amazon now. Let me see what's Amazon highest price.
If somebody comes now to you with something with green energy, green carbon, that's where you need to go now. Whatever the IPO is, try to buy some. You there, Tommy? Am I right? Wrong?
Well,
I speculate into.
Yeah, but in the future, you have to reduce the carbon footprint.
Yep.
Let me see this. In 1997, Amazon was $18 per share. Amazon hit the price of $1,000 per share the morning of May 30. I don't know what year is that.
Slim, you speculate wrong.
Shame on you. Yeah, I speculate wrong.
Yeah, because you figure it was gonna just be another UPS or FedEx.
Yeah, I speculated wrong. I had Microsoft. Yeah, he was a young chap them days, man. You know what I mean? You ain't holding on to things too long. You're young, you're vibrant, you know? Yeah. You're thinking about long term? You're thinking about no long term?
But you know what? On my own experience, you remember a lady named 𝗪𝗬𝗃, right?
Of course I know you know him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she had bought these, you know, Parkchester in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So in 1988, they were somebody said pigeons were living in these places because they didn't have people rented out, you know what I mean? And pigeons were in them and da. Somebody I bought one of them in 1988 for about $45,000. And as we buy that for, pigeons was living there. And there's a box. And high up in the air was a 12th floor. So the quiet element, a 12th floor condo. And I said, it's okay. I need a home. I need to live somewhere, right? And I bought that for about 45 grand in 88. And I sold it in 2018 for 150 grand. So the same box the pigeon, and people try to discourage me from buying one of them condos, you know.
If Hemsley buy it, you know it was a good value.
Her name alone, right?
If she buy it, you know it was a good value. And she was a very good investor. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Correct is right.
Yeah, they would. You talk about discourage me. Over there. And another thing, down in the South Bronx now, they had a program where you could get, you know, these buildings, not the $1 building, but they were low mortgage building. You had to work with the city and da. And I got qualified for one for $20,000 a building, a low mortgage. Got who was it then? Was it Koch or something? Who was it? The mayor then. I remember trying to encourage you to invest in the city and working young people like myself, right? And answer them when I went to the South Bronx, I said, God boy, this area, go down there now.
But listen to this. You talking? When I went to school, when I came up here to this country, I went to school in 𝗪𝗏𝗪. They used to call it 𝗑𝗪 𝗪𝗏. Right? And I only went there for a year. And when I went to Seton Hall in 1970, you know what kids used to ask me? Hey, Libon, you used to walk around there with a gun? You had a gun on you? I said, man, if I had a gun. I said, man, we hear about them from the burbs, the suburbs, and them say, boy, we hear things real bad about 𝗪𝗏𝗪, boy. And you could have got a brownstone in 𝗪𝗏𝗪 for about $50,000.
Yeah, try to get one now.
Try and get one now, no? Try and get one now. Right? 50,000 easy. Huh?
Yeah.
I said 𝗪𝗏𝗪 was the combat zone.
Combat zone is right.
No, it's $1 and $2 million.
Yeah, the Biggie Smalls from that area, boy, the number one of the big rapper, boy. Right? That area, boy, but we never had no problems. We walked through, we go where we had to go. We do what we had to do, and it was fine. You know, but I mean, all of a sudden, boy, people started to move back into 𝗪𝗏𝗪, boy.
Yep.
And all over,
boy.
Crown Heights.
Even East New York, boy.
Yeah.
We used to talk bad about East New York. But I want all you to listen to 𝗪𝗵 Gonzalez. Listen to him.
Homes and our families together around a table and say, you know what? We can no longer afford to go to the movies twice a week or 3 times a week. We may not be able to bake ham every month or make macaroni pie. We may have to cut back because we may have to reapportion some of the scarce resources to other important things.
Oh Lord. So that is the Marvin Gonzalez. He ain't look like he missing nothing neither, boy. He look, you know.
So I want to know if these ministers are compelled to make these statements.
Well, yeah, they had to defend. Remember, all of them on the defense, you know. Them not on offense, you know. Them on defense. So all of them making defensive statements. Faris Al-Wawi made an offensive statement. Well, not offensive in the word. We talk about defense and offense now, like in basketball or in sports.
I guess the feeling is if they don't make these statements that they're going to be adverse effect, or should I say, there's going to be some kind of pushback from the society or something of sorts. Do you believe so?
No, but listen, you come out and talk some reality. Say, listen, we understand that there are many people in the country who are having difficulties. And we are trying our best to do things to assist them. It might be slow in coming, but we believe it will get to where it's supposed to be. You don't make analogies about ham and macaroni pie and clim and making and talking about cold pot and talking about bicycle. I mean, and all them is buzzwords for poor people.
And look now, let me give them who is the minister of transport or the minister. Let me give all their suggestions. Let the Bajan girl educate woman. Let it Ronson or whom let the Bajan girl educate woman. Let me educate woman now. You know how women could sacrifice and help the poor people? How about more buses available to them so they have to run the car, right? And drop them in, certain areas where they can walk and go on to their jobs and stuff. How about want to increase the bus service, right? You understand what I'm saying? And you're taking cars off the road, but run the bus service a little more frequently, right? And look at it visually. You drop from here to 𝗪𝗹 and or 𝗪𝗹 to Sama, and you do them kind of things. So for the poor class people, and how about want to lower the bus price? How about want to lower the thing on the but don't charge school children at a certain age or nothing, and lower it for the poor people for a time. Increase the bus service and lower the fare for a time to ease the people. How about want to do them things? But no, you're talking about macaroni pie and ham. They still want to get to their job. Yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
Remember earlier I was telling you about I was having a discussion with someone and they were telling me they should remove the subsidy altogether on the gasoline so that they could alleviate some of the traffic jam. The person's argument was that the buses are running empty or near empty because nobody wants to take the buses. Everybody wants to get in their car and drive themselves or their children wherever they have to go. Nobody wants to park their car.
Tommy, listen to this, right? I hear you. Listen to this, right? I went into New York, all right? A friend of mine came from Trinidad. I went in Brooklyn, I picked him up. Pick him and his wife up. We come down by me, they hang out for a little bit. We went out for a little lunch, and then we drove back to Brooklyn, right? I used the Guttles Bridge, and there's a HOV lane for cars with 3 or more passengers.
3 or more, yeah.
Right. Now, what that does is that it allows people to carpool and leave their car home because you get to your destination quicker because the HOV lane doesn't have a lot of traffic.
Right.
Now, I understand that maybe Jack wanna try to do it on the priority route at one time. I don't know what happened with it, but it
didn't last.
It works fine in this country. If you're going to Virginia in mornings and you don't have a HOV, you don't have 3 people in your car, you can be stuck in traffic, yes, right? But if you carpool with 2 other individuals and 3 of them in your car, you get to where you're going quicker. So it encourages people to leave their cars home, right? And drive. And secondly, there are certain locations where it's that, like for example, in our community, we have buses that take people to the train station.
Right.
So they don't have to use their cars.
Or they have something called park and ride. You ride,
park and ride.
You understand? Yeah. And you go and you catch a bus from there and everybody going in the same general direction. And as far as Hailey's comment about getting robbed by bandits, you put an armed policeman there on the bus, then give you work to do. They'll put over there, put him where they're getting on something. Give him work to do. And you have cameras on the bus. Put cameras on the bus.
But let me talk about the jitney service they have in certain neighborhoods.
Correct. In Maplewood, South Orange, West Orange, they have a jitney service. And what people do, they have different stops across the town. You go there, the jitney picks you up, you pay a certain monthly fee, you get on the bus, it takes you to the train station. When you come back, the jitneys are waiting, you're going to different location, you get on the jitney and you come home.
Yep. You know, and there's a lot of empty land and grass growing all over the place. Make them into park and rides.
Some of these
right?
things are simple.
And buses leaving every half hour or something. And you know, people get on and go. You're easing up the traffic on the Eastern Main Road, them corridors. Right? And there's certain you know, places in Port of Spain you'll be dropped not only City Gate, but you could go higher up around the Savannah, drop or wherever, you know, they never know the logistics better than me.
But
and people,
the next thing they have to do, they have to go up with the roads.
Yep.
They have to go up the roads. Right? You want to build this flyover and a walkover, I hear cost 16 million or something. A walkover cost 16 million. A walkover.
A walkover.
A walkover.
You know, Mr. Manon he started opening up the road from 2 to 3 lanes on the north-south highway. It got up to Chagonas and never went past.
Because another party come in power, so they're not continuing. And that's another dotishness that going on in Trinidad and Tobago. When one party starts something, if they get voted out, the next party come in to spite the party. We're not continuing with this, and we're not continuing with that. What kind of dotishness is that? Huh? Look.
Instead, they spend millions on some boomerang wires, saying that they're gonna cut down on fatalities on the roadway, and when they could have simply do the 3rd lane and put a jersey barrier in between.
Yeah. But listen to this, right? This is a survey, not a scientific survey, but this is on a PNM radio station, right? This is on a PNM radio station. Listen to this.
Full question again for those of you now joining us is Mrs. Nunez 𝗪𝗪, who has officially said she will challenge Dr. Rowley for the leadership of the PNM come December, said a number of things in an interview, one of which is that she is of the opinion that there is a silent majority within the party who are against the current leadership. We want to find out from you this morning, do you agree with Mrs. Nunez 𝗪𝗪's opinion? We're not talking clico, we're not talking if you're too fat, if you don't like her, we didn't ask all of that. We ask you, do you agree with her view that there's a silent body of people in the party who want to change the current leadership? Yes or no? Interesting result, eh?
It is. I have to tell you, I'm
party in full control,
entrenched in government.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Okay.
That 55% agree with her. 55%, and this is noteworthy. While I'm not on the 55%, I'm surprised that there is 55%.
Right.
So you're with the 55. 55% say they agree with Mrs. Nunez 𝗪𝗪. There is a silent group, must be a big number, enough to get 55%. And 45% say they don't agree.
And if 55% show their hand, you know they have another 15% who are saying nothing.
Tommy, you are absolutely correct. Tommy, and Tommy, a very well-known politician, say no, it's not 55%, it's 90%.
Oh, Jesus.
I ain't gonna call his name, but he's a he. He says it's 90% and he's in the know 90%. So all the people talking about all kind of thing, and that I'll tell you, they just talk and talk and talk. Some people don't like to show their hand till they go in the booth privately. People don't want to show their hand. 50. Let me replay that. Let me replay it. Let me replay it for some
A
people.
poll question again for those of you now joining us is Mrs. 𝗠cie𝗵𝗃𝗃, who has officially said she will challenge Dr. Rao.
And all your days are PNM station, eh?
Mm-hmm.
This is IPNM 95.5. Right? PNM station.
For the leadership of the PNM come December. Said a number of things in an interview, one of which is that she is of the opinion that there is a silent majority within the party who are against the current leadership. We want to find out from you this morning, do you agree with Mrs. 𝗠cie𝗵𝗃𝗃's opinion? We're not talking clico, we're not talking if you're too fat, if you don't like her, we didn't ask all of that. We ask you, do you agree with her view that there's a silent body of people in the party who want to change the current leadership? Yes or no? Interesting result, eh?
It is. It's. I have to tell you,
our party in full control,
entrenched in government.
Yeah. Listen to this fella. How he say he's a PNM, right? Listen carefully, eh? So this is Dale and Tony, right? Listen to Dale carefully. Eh? Listen to what he said. Listen to him, eh?
I'm surprised.
Okay.
That 55% agree with her. 55%, and this is noteworthy. While I'm not on the 55%.
You hear what you say, right?
He's one of the 45%.
Correct.
He only singing for his supper. He's singing there so you don't get bold of pelt or you don't get axed. But he know the leadership need to change.
Yeah, nobody asked him his opinion, you know.
No.
You understand? But he had to make Dr. Rowie listening.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I'm not
he has to cover his posterior. Go ahead.
I'm surprised that there is 55%.
Right.
So you're with the 55. 55% say they agree with Mrs. 𝗠cie𝗵𝗃𝗃. There is a silent group. Must be a big number enough to get 55%. And 45% say they don't agree.
And let me say this, eh? I posted that on my TikTok. Let me tell you something.
And so many 55%. Go ahead.
Something people don't understand. You know? I posted that on my TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok, people. It get 10,300 views. 10,300 views and counting on my TikTok. So let me tell you something. 10,000 people, maybe all Trinidadians. If you take 5%, if you take 50% of Trinidad, 5,000 of them saw it on TikTok. Right? So all they keep on sleeping. All they keep sleeping. Keep on sleeping. All they keep on sleeping.
Dr. Shane there yet?
Not yet. I was sleeping.
Let me go see where you are.
I was sleeping back then when I had them shares of Amazon. I was wide asleep.
Wide asleep in a dream.
I was wide asleep. Yeah, Judy, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. Karen Nunes is not working with Rowley and his gang. She wants to make a profound changes in Trinidad. Karen Nunes means what she's saying, and I can say Karen means what she's saying. You see, let me tell you all something. Eh? I have had dealings with Dr. Rowley. I have had dealings with Karen 𝗠cie𝗵𝗃𝗃. Right? And I could talk about my experience with Dr. Rowley, and I could speak of my experience with Karen 𝗠cie𝗵𝗃𝗃. Right? So I could make a comparison, you know, up close. Well, I was more up close, you know, with respect to Dr. Rowley than with Karen, because this thing just started. This thing hasn't started. This is not a thing that I've started a long time. It's something started recently. And I can tell you there's a big difference. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. You know, and I honestly feel that a lot of people are just very emotional, and everybody has a choice to make, and they can make their choice as they see fit, you know, because we all have an opinion and our opinions may differ.
Dr. Shane said he's looking for a red t-shirt.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Come with the red t-shirt. Yeah. Because you know we done anything at 10, you know.
He come in, but he see put on, he's looking for a red t-shirt.
Listen to Hailey. Sometimes I don't know where Hailey this guy's information from. Answer is a wagonist. Right? Yeah. We have a concept in global business called bandwagon. You jump on the bandwagon. You understand? Like, for example, Warren Buffett is a very good investor. And when Warren Buffett buys a stock, many other people go and buy that stock. They jump on the bandwagon because they believe that stock will increase in price. So it's called a bandwagon. So I saying I'm a wagonist. I don't know how I'm a wagonist, but I jump off PDP back on the PNM Karen bandwagon. I was ever on PDP back.
Yeah, we highlighted it, but we watching what's going on still. I'm trying to get Mr. Reginald Dumas. He was the head of the civil service in Tobago.
Yeah.
So he expresses an interest to come in the village and talk about that same thing with PEP.
Dr. Mohammed, you don't know orange t-shirt, your mother or pep. I don't know why I don't want that man put on an orange t-shirt for. You're crazy. He put on a red t-shirt, boy.
Correct. A burgundy t-shirt. A burgundy t-shirt.
You see, I said red.
Huh?
Mohammed?
What's going on?
There's a red t-shirt on there?
Yeah, boy, there's a red t-shirt. That's a red t-shirt.
Everybody go see on the internet say, oh God, the partner have a red t-shirt, right? Oh God, boy. That's how we go see NT on the back and KNT 2022 in the front.
Listen, I don't want to see them people, boy. I don't want to see them people.
NT?
Those people they are. I don't know. I don't understand. I can't understand how a country could a group of people be so displaced from reality and from the population. I just put up I wouldn't lie to you. I just put up a post on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page. TSTT, fix the effing domestic wireless bullshit phones you give people, because I cannot get in touch with my mother. I have been trying to reach my mother for the evening and I can't get in touch with her because these stupid phones that they have gotten from TSTT, welcome, thank you, Judy. You know, they're not working, they're inaccessible. My uncles from Toronto are having difficulty reaching my grandmother. Can you imagine? This is 2022 in Trinidad and Tobago, where we can't even get something as simple as damn phone and digital phones working, man. It's sickening. Is Lana Budu, who is online, just out of curiosity, I'm Marco in here. Is Lana Budu Dr. Lana Budu, as in the cardiologist?
No.
That must be Lana family.
Yeah, maybe she family.
Because Lana does have, Dr. Lana Budu in Trinidad do have a very good reputation.
Oh no, that we girl that no, that we Lana that gives us good information, research stuff and send it. Well, she be putting some stuff in the chat, you know, answer.
Yeah.
So let me see. Let me hear what happened. I see Haley here talking about Karen.
Yeah.
Hailey coming in Hailey saying Karen coming in the village and cat got you down. Really?
I don't know where Hailey get that from. I don't know. You know, every question we ask the woman, she answered.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes she a little too frank for me. She answered everything straightforward.
Yeah.
Listen to this. The IPNM 95.5 did a unscientific poll.
Well said. Go ahead. Well said. Well said.
Why are you laughing, just so?
Well said. Well said.
Right.
Well
So
said.
IPNM.
Nadia, let me just Nadia. I asked to come on from 9:30 to 10:30. Yeah? So watch me. I just don't walk, you know.
So listen to this. IPNM 95.5 did a unscientific poll, right? And they asked if the people in the party are disgruntled with the political leader. And based on their poll, unscientific poll, they say 55% of the people say yes, right? They are disgruntled with the current leadership of the PNM, right? And a well-known former leader of a party said he thinks it's more like 90%. What do you say, Dr. Mohammed?
Who is the former leader?
I ain't calling no names, but his party is
come now, man.
Green. His party is the Green Party.
Mr. Warner.
The Green Party.
We ain't calling no names.
You call names, Dr. Mohammed. The Green Party.
It have how much? It have two Green parties.
No, one Green Party. The party that starts with an I.
Okay, fine. Okay. Good. All right. That is my
That's healthy.
That's my godfather.
Yeah,
that's my godfather. That's
your
my
godfather said he think it's 90%.
That's my godfather. My godfather think it's 90%. He believes that is 90% of the party or 90% of the country.
90% of the party.
I have to see it to believe it. PNM people, if they get an alternative like Karen Nunes-Teixeira, which I welcome, competition is always good, right? So a former member of parliament called me over the weekend and said to me that I should put out, I should lobby, I should invigorate and I should invigorate 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗃 and Camille Robinson-Regis to submit their nominations for political leader. And I said to the former MP that is not my job. One, I said when the media called, they called and they asked me what was my opinion with regard to Mrs. Nunes-Teixeira throwing in her hat into the ring for political leader of the PNM. And I responded accordingly. I think if you all check my Facebook page,
I saw it.
You all would have seen I put out a video over the weekend as well, right? I put out a video on Sunday, which touched on concern the budget, the dotishness that these ministers are talking, and it only for me says that we are living in a country where our leaders and our government is far removed from the reality on the ground, because they have become, if they were not before, they have become aloof, they have become elitist. And it is very unfortunate that a party that is led by a Tobagonian who has gone back to his roots and prepared himself for retirement in terms of his farm and whatnot, doesn't seem to understand that you can't afford to simply raise fuel prices and put that burden on a population and not even take into consideration the removal of VAT or the reduction of VAT on what I would call basic food items. And even if you reduce VAT to 3%, let's just say, you still gave the people something that would have assisted households. What I'm also very concerned about, and it is a very, that was something that I discovered this morning while I was teaching my students, is that Imbert on the 26th of September said that he looked at the comparative rates of oil trading at on the international markets for April, May, June, July, August, and he came that those months informed his decision of $92.50 a barrel, and to peg the economy and to peg the budget against an oil price of $92.50 per barrel and a gas price of $6 per MMBTU. You all know how much gas traded for today?
No.
The price of gas today traded, not oil, sorry, the price of oil traded today at $86.85.
Wow.
Which means that as
good.
As the issues in Ukraine and Russia starts to get resolved, Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm putting no words in my mouth to say, are going to be in deep shit. Because there is, now Judy, let me ask you this, right? And let me just cut across to Judy, because Judy has caught my attention with
it's not all right tonight.
comment.
Tonight is Judy, but not all right tonight.
But Judy, I have a question. If there is a young, vibrant leader with visions for building the nation and an ideology that benefits the citizen, will you all support that individual if a new political party were to be formed and that young political leader were to depend on the experience of elders to guide the direction of the party's institution and arms, etc.? I want to put that out there. I want to ask that question because you are the second person that have put out that in the last couple of days, right? But coming back to us in Trinidad and Tobago, I am disappointed because I thought that Mr. Imbert would have been conservative and he would have pegged the budget to an average oil price of $75 a barrel and gas price at $4.75, which would have been $1 more than the 2021-2022 budget. So that if there were increases or there were decreases, we were still in the safe zone. And we were in a zone where we were still at a position to have revenue generated through these shocks. But he has given absolutely no, good night, Mr. Murray. He has given us up a no breathing space.
Yeah, no
financial breathing space.
No wiggle room, yeah.
To put us in a position where when it drops, we are not going to be falling in that. He is literally, what he has done, he has behaved as if we are Venezuela. Venezuela's economy can be very competitive because Venezuela is still the #1 gas producer, oil producer in the world. And it is still the #1 country with the most amount of oil reserves internationally. So, and I was talking to Mr. Mariano Brown, and Mr. Brown went on to explain the whole synopsis as to why we are where we are. And I really, in listening to Mr. Brown, he took the time to go step by step into the explanation as to what happens with regard to why we are now paying what we are paying for gas, for fuels. It made sense. It shocked me. I don't know why I was shocked, but I was shocked, right? And I felt betrayed, a sense of betrayal by the government. And if I, as an academic, feels betrayed by the government, then what would you say for the ordinary man on the street who doesn't necessarily understand the language spoken at the parliamentary level in terms of dollars and cents and revenue generation and allocation of funds and all of that? Why have we forgotten in this country that we need to be able to touch the lives of the very poor to the very rich? Why have we forgotten that there is a sector of our society that lives on a day-to-day salary and a day-to-day budget? Why? Why have we forgotten that there's a sector of society that has to make hard decisions, why is it that we fail to realize that the price of a pound of flour and the price of a kg of rice is going to influence and determine what children eat in tonight or tomorrow morning. Why are we behaving as if that does not exist? And then somebody, some idiot in the PNM is going to say, well, that is not only just happening under the PNM. I give credit where credit is due. And under 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝗃, she did take that into consideration. And under 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝗃, he did take that into consideration. And under Patrick Manning, from 1991 to 1995, and from 2000 to 2007, Mr. Manning took that into consideration. The only time Mr. Manning went off course was in 2007 to 2010, and I have written and I have also researched that Mr. Manning had a hunger for moving Trinidad and Tobago towards first world status, that he believed that we were in a comfortable state as it pertains to the availability of the basic needs of the society. That is why he took the opportunity to build what we were calling big buildings and skyscrapers at the time. But there was a vision there that we have only now, God rest his soul, seen the benefit of, right? But again, the problem with the Mr. Manning during the 2007 to 2010 period and the current administration from 2015 to now is that they have lost touch with the ground, and they have also lacked the ability to communicate effectively. I look at 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝗃, and 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝗃 was talking to a reporter and behaving as if she's a damn school teacher. And I mean, and I consider 𝗏𝗵𝗶 to be a friend and a colleague. When we see each other, is a good hug up and kiss up and love in the place. But not because we are colleagues, I consider people colleagues and friends.
She got it wrong. She got it wrong. She got it
Completely wrong.
Completely
Scotland got it wrong.
Yeah. Marvin got it wrong.
Marvin got it wrong.
He got it
right?
wrong.
They got it completely wrong. And then the Prime Minister came today and he said that he takes responsibility. That's a cop-out, right? You cannot take responsibility for something. You know, at the end of the day, what is going on in this country? You know, everybody, I'm looking on at Lana talking about a new political party and giving a chance and that kind. I've been approached by two political parties to be a part of to be a part of both political organizations. One, I do not believe possess the capacity and the ability to bring to the political space what 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝗃 did and what 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 did and what Manning did, right? The other political party, I am concerned because obviously I have very strong views. And I am not going to be one to toe a line, because if the line is a bad decision and if the line is blurred, I can't say yes to that. You see, it is time for Trinidad and Tobago to embark upon a new chapter in their political life. And I see a lot of people talking about young politicians and young leadership and all of that, right? And the risk factor that a young politician and a young leader will not take is political betrayal. Because people will say they want X, Y, and Z. And then when X, Y, and Z comes on the plate, they are going to say, well, I don't like this one, and I don't like that one, and I don't like... But why are we looking at personalities and pegging personalities to skill sets, knowledge, innovation, transformational thinking? Why are we not looking at it from that perspective? And if we do, so Judy, let me ask you that question. Let me ask that question back to you. Should it happen? And if it happens, will I get the support that is needed? Because I need, if I am putting myself in front of all of you all now and saying, since the question has been thrown at me, I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm saying to all of you all that are listening on, that I will need 30 seats to make the necessary changes that will transform Trinidad and Tobago, re-energize the various industries that has fallen by the wayside, to create and generate employment, to create and generate a diverse economy where we go back to agriculture and the agrarian industry as a key component of our overall economic outlook. Are you all prepared to go down that route? Are you all prepared for me to ask the old and the young to come on board and join with me to go forward in a way that is not only successful, but it is grounded and progressive? Because I will say I said this to my class today, I will say this to you all. In my early days, my father took visa from PTSC. I want to go a step further. My great-grandfather in the 1940s and 50s owned PTSC. And the mismanagement of PTS, of what was the Trinidad and Tobago Bus Company, or the Princestown Bus Company, as the case may have been, the issue came that his sons, who he entrusted with the running of the bus company, ran it down. And therefore, in the 1960s, the bus company was taken over by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And, well, that is history. I have been one of the only members of my family to say that nobody at that point in time, none of our we have two generations, right? Nobody in our second generation felt it important to say to the government of Trinidad and Tobago that the family would have retained a 5% share of the company. And
so Dr. Mohammed, we want to hold that thought right there. We got to go for a quick station identification. Okay. So hold that thought. We're going to go for a quick station identification. It's in the village of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and WZYE 95.9 FM. We have with us no stranger to in the village, Dr. Shane Mohammed. Dr. Mohammed, continue.
So yes, so as I was saying, right, nobody in my family saw it fit to ask that we retain a 5% share in the company and as well maintain 2 persons within the family to sit on the board of directors, right? That tells me several things. That they lack the vision, they lack the thinking, they lack the business sense. They just, at the end of the day, enjoyed the benefits of the money that they would have gained. And even that was an issue. I'm saying all of this to put into the context that, given my historical background, come forward to, I know what it's like to have my father take visa and my mother lose her job as a result of her boss dying and his practice coming to an end. I know what it is like to have to go to school and be supported by my uncle in Tortula, who I will be forever indebted to, right? I also know what it is like to be a public servant and work in the public sector and have to leave Princestown at 4:30 and go to Port of Spain and sit outside the Hall of Justice because the door for the Hall of Justice does not open until 6 a.m. I also know what it is like to have to take a sick day because my money ran out because I was trying to study law at the time and also go to work. And I did not want to burden my parents, so I would take a sick day on the day before I get paid. And then when I get paid, start back to work. I know all of those things. I know what it is like to struggle. I know what it is like to wonder where my next salary was coming from. I understand that there is a need. And I will say this because I just came out of a class. I will say what I said to my class. I will say to the audience. I cannot understand, and I'm putting myself in the position as a prime minister. I will never quantify the expenditure of the state on the education of our young people, because that is an investment that will be returned when the youth in my society is diverse in education, in knowledge, in skill set, and it allows me to have a wider pool for employment and to diversify my economy. So when I hear 𝗵𝗵 talk about the return of Gate, my response to 𝗵𝗵 is, well, Gate should never have been closed, because an investment in your young people is an investment to the future. And that's how I see it, right? Because it is no secret in Trinidad and Tobago, we have an aging population, right? I also want to use the phrase that not because somebody has retired, they have expired. And that is the modus operandi in Trinidad and Tobago. How many people in Trinidad and Tobago knows that there is a public sector academy where we can train members in the public sector with the institutional knowledge of retired permanent secretaries, retired directors of human resource, retired directors of personnel and administration, retired chief of defense, retired commissioners of police, all of these people who are retired can be returned to the academy to train the entire public sector in the different fields. We, however, have allowed these people to expire, and with them goes their institutional knowledge. Where is our futuristic thinking? Where is our short, medium, and long-term plans and vision for Trinidad and Tobago? When will we let Tobago be equal to Trinidad and revisit that Tobago Autonomy Bill and let the Tobagonian legislators, as in the senior councils and the lawyers and the stakeholders from Tobago, let them craft the bill and let us allow Tobago to decide how they want their future to be rather than doing it from Port of Spain. Why can't we not allow, what is wrong with allowing the sitting of Parliament to take place in Scarborough on a quarterly basis? Why can't we set up the office of the Prime Minister and have the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago go to Tobago at least once every month or 1 week every month? Why are we not thinking in a manner that allows our country to become closer and our people to become more more integrated? And I am thinking, Rose, I am thinking about running for political office. But what I don't want to be is politically betrayed, because I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm saying to the listening public, that enough of the 60 years of PNM and nothing. Enough. It was not only PNM. It was the shortcomings of the NAR. I will say this. I am so stinking angry at 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 because she got a golden opportunity, and she took a golden opportunity and she turned it into a dark, deep web of deception, political deception, and squandermania of political goodwill. And I can say safely that if I were to go down the route of running for political office, there are lessons that have been learned. There are things that will not be done. There are things that will take from the Manning, and I take from the Pandey, and I will take from Dukaran, and I can marry all of that together with my own thinking and my own experience, and learning from Jacinta Ardern in New Zealand, and understanding what has happened, what Obama did, and look at all of the different major democracies in the world, and take a page out of or a line or a leaf out of the experience, and produce a better Trinidad and Tobago. Why can't we have people who in jail? Why are they not doing macro agriculture? Why are we not putting them in the fields and letting them toil the soil? Why? Why can't we not put bolts on their feet so they wouldn't run? Why? Why can't we have people, train people as security officers or prison security officers that are efficiently armed to supervise these people who can produce? Why are we having people waste away? Hardback men and women waste away in the prison. Why have we not used the women's prison as a place for construction of garments? We let them, they are able to sew, they are able to cook, they are given skills, but more so sewing. Why can't we sew our own clothing and have a made in Trinidad and Tobago brand of clothing coming out of the women's prison? Can you imagine? Let's just say there's an average of 300 women incarcerated. What could be the output of 300 sewing machines at an 8-hour shift? So they are working from 8 to 4, so that they are not becoming a burden on us, and that could be used as some sort of we could use it as some sort of parole system where years on their sentence are deducted based on their contribution, and as Rose rightly say, their community service. Why have we not done that? Why have we not turned the crime of rape into unbailable offense? Why have we allowed Anand Ramlogan and Jayanti Lakshmi-Dayal to open the gate for murder accused to get bail? And I don't care what any lawyer says in this country, and I did get a backlash, but I don't care. If the evidence did not point to you committing murder, then you wouldn't be blasted jail, or you wouldn't be charged. And we also have to have respect for the institution and the independent institution of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Why have we not, as a country, why has our government not allocated a collective amount of graduates from the Hugh Wooding Law School to go into the Director of Public Prosecutor's office, to be trained as prosecutors, and to work for the state as a way of giving back for getting gate? So therefore, we have strengthened the DPP's office with manpower, with what they have been asking for, which is human capacity, in order to finish and to go out and to prosecute cases. Why? Why have we not done that? Why have we not instituted the death penalty and brought it back? And why are we not breaking necks? Unless we show criminals that we are serious about fighting crime by making sure that people pay for the time, pay for the crime, then we are going to just be having a revolving door within the prison system, because now you can get bail for murder. Because thanks to Annan Ram Logan. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't like the individual. I think the individual was a misfit for an attorney general. He was 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃 biggest liability. And he as a former attorney general has betrayed the country and the constitution by making bail a bailable offense. And there are magistrates out there that will not wink to give somebody bail. So then what are we saying to people who are committing crimes? That it's okay. If the most heinous crime has now become bailable in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, what is left? What is left for a moral fabric, people? What?
So
Dr. Mohammed.
Yes.
How are you doing? I'm incognito. Boy, do I love all those things that you said, because I try to present to the old Minister of Education a program where they say you retire, you're useless, you expire, where they will use these teachers and bring them back into the troubled schools and work with the children that are, need a little extra help. And you understand, you're bridging the gap between the old and young. Let some of the young ladies go into the old people's homes and read to them and stuff. All them kind of, but nobody want to hear from me. I said nobody. But I want to ask you something. A very learned colleague of mine in Trinidad and Tobago, their comment on the 𝗪𝗪 announcement of challenging Dr. Rowley said to me, and this is a quote, this is what they say, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned." What say you to that comment?
I think it's not a hell has no fury like a woman scorned. I think Dr. Rowley, like 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃, has an insecure, and they are insecure. They have an insecurity complex and an inferiority complex. And anything that resembles competition is avoided at every single length, unless they can control that competition. So, for example, Rudal Munilal has put a complete full stop to his political life and his political future because 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃 has made him deputy political leader. Had he joined, and some of you all may disagree, but had he joined with Fuad and give him the support that he needed to really make a change in the UNC's leadership, then I would have said, and Fuad said this I'll share this with you all. Fuad said to Rudal, he said to Rudal that, Rudal, you have a greater chance at achieving your political goals with me as political leader than 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃. Because for Fuad, it was not about power, but it was about change and what he could do with the role and function as political leader, right? With regard to Rowley, Mrs. 𝗪𝗪 was was used as a political scapegoat by 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃 and the partnership to beat Manning.
Okay.
And knowing fully well that Mrs. 𝗪𝗪, she was never jailed, she was never charged, she was never accused of any crime. With regard to the whole 𝗪𝗪 issue, right? But I don't think 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃 has any moral authority to criticize Karen Nunes 𝗪𝗪 at this stage of her political career, Kamla's political career, because I don't believe that her hands are clean as she claims. Because if her hands were clean, she would not have weaved such a dirty web that caused her to lose 2 general elections, right? So I think Nunes 𝗪𝗪 coming into play is a return of Mr. Manning in just a female form. And it's a shame, and it's not a shame, it's disappointing that Brian Manning does not necessarily embody or has shown, I can't say does not, has shown thus far to embody any element of his father as yet. And sometimes, for example, 𝗦𝗵𝗶𝗃 is nothing close to even the shadow of 𝗪𝗶𝗃. However, there are others who would have learned from 𝗪𝗶𝗃 and would have been able to use some of his knowledge and wisdom that he would have passed on. And I could safely say I am one of those lucky ones, right? So I would really like to see what happens in that election. And if it is free and fair, and as my godfather said, 90% of the PNM is upset with Dr. Rowley's leadership, then we should see a shift. I think the shift can also be done if Mrs. Teixeira puts some focus in the PNM and Tobago. So the Tobagonians into the PNM into the Tobagonian PNM Council, the PNM Tobago supporters, if they could also hold the balance in their hands, and if they vote in favor of Mrs. Teixeira, they could swing the pendulum in her favor, and that would be a very interesting outcome. And I would support that 100%. Anything, I'll tell you this, anything that brings positive change to Trinidad and Tobago's political landscape, I would welcome it. And if within the next year, it has become necessary for me to step out into the political arena, then I will have to, if that's what the call is. I will answer the call if it is overwhelming. I will not answer the call if it is not overwhelming.
I have another question for you. In the internal elections, are the votes casted secret or are they open? You're going to know who voted for who?
No, the votes are cast in secret, and it is I think Mr. Manning changed it before he died to one man, one vote. So it's similar to the UNC. But the process is a little more structured, and it's a lot more transparent.
So let's say they go and they vote for Mrs. Teixeira to lead the party, and this would be in December then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens then? What happens then? What goes on inside the party? What happens with the government? What happens then?
Well, the government stays because this is political. This is the political institution, right? So the government changes. It does not change unless Dr. Rowley invites Mrs. Teixeira to come into the Senate as the political leader and gives her a ministerial portfolio. So, and they work together, right? If he is magnanimous in that regard. Otherwise, Mrs. Teixeira's goal would be to rebrand and her first test would be the local government election. So that would be her first test to answer swiftly, Dr. Judy. I am not going to answer until it is unless it is overwhelming. It has to be an overwhelming call, right? But that's the only thing. Her first test will be the local government election, and the local government election, I know for a fact that the National Transformation Alliance will be contesting. I believe PEP will be contesting. PEP Trinidad. No, PEP. What is my name? Philip will be contesting. PDP Trinidad will be contesting. The UNC will be contesting, and the PNM will be contesting. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 political parties will be contesting the local government election.
Ans Lemon, you forget Ans Lemon.
Ans Lemon have a party?
Ans Lemon.
I don't know what party I have.
Ans Lemon, you have a party? You start a party?
I don't know. At WZYE, I don't know if they have a party in WZYE. Yeah, WZYE will throw a party.
What I think will happen is that the UNC will contest all 14 seats, all 14 corporations. The PNM will also contest all 14 corporations, but I believe the PDP, the PEP, and the NTA, they will contest strategic corporations, and that will be a very interesting outcome.
So Dr. Mohammed, we have about 8 more minutes, right? Dr. Mohammed, I like to listen to attentively, and you kind of smooth over a discussion there when they talk about you representing a party, you know, being part of a certain party, you know, and I mean, knowing the type of person that you are, to me, you look like an NTA type of person.
So why it can be? Why I can look like a patriotic? Why I can look like a patriotic front kind of person?
𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗃
Because you can't say 𝗪𝗶𝗃 and I working together. We kill each other.
Nah. I ain't seen that. Because 𝗪𝗶𝗃 is not really outside. She's outside.
How much more overwhelming can it get, Dr. Judy? It must come from all sectors. It must come from the ground.
Judy, I don't know why you letting Dr. Mohammed try to swing the question, you know.
No, go ahead and ask a question. Shoot me the straight question.
Yeah, but I ask you, I mean, and you try, I like it too bad when you're shifting the goalposts and talking about the patriotic front with 𝗪𝗶𝗃. I mean, you gotta be honest. I mean,
no, but if so, okay, what is the question? What is the question?
I said you're an NTA type of person.
You always trying to politically diagnose people. Yeah, you put me with people.
No.
I politically diagnose him. I said he's an NTA type of person. I mean, listen, right? I think we as people have certain parties that we feel more comfortable in, and we feel that we can support that party. And there's nothing wrong with that. You understand? I feel more comfortable supporting the PNM. All different people that's coming here, and I like to be transparent. I tell them, listen, I personally feel more comfortable supporting the PNM. If I see something different happen, I want policies. I want to look at policies. I don't like Dr. Rowley policies. You understand?
Right.
So I am not, I don't support, I used to, I no longer support Dr. Rowley.
And that is very fair. The question that you're asking me, if I seem like an NTA kind of person. Yeah. And I cannot, okay, so I am friends. I will tell you, I'm friends with Nicole and Gary, right? They have been one of the very few people I've invited to my grandmother's home for Eid. So I know both Nicole and Gary on a personal level, right? I think Nicole's heart is very much in the right place, and Nicole means very well in terms of how what she also envisions for Trinidad and Tobago. And I understand that Gary is charismatic to an extent, and he has the ability to make a difference. My concern is, if I were to go to the NTA, to what extent will I have, as a political scientist, the air of the political leader
you already have his ear. You already have his ear.
Right. No. If I say to him, if I say to him, don't do something, and I justify why he should not do something,
I think he will listen.
I would hope that he would. I would like to believe that he would listen.
I mean, if you go to the PNM, Dr. Rowley listening to you, I could tell you that right now. He ain't listening to you. 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗧.
No.
𝗪𝗏𝗄𧃗 saying go listen to you either.
𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗧𝗶𝗃, I don't want 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗧𝗶𝗃 to listen to me because I don't listen to him.
All right, so we rule that out. We rule that out.
And I don't, I would go to...
𝗶𝗶, Philip ain't go listen to you either.
Well, I said the other day that I thought Philip was an idiot, right?
All right, so we rule that out. So we rule that out now. ILP not in existence. PDP, maybe PDP could be a possibility too, you know.
Which PDP?
The PDP in Tobago.
Yes, the PDP in Tobago. I love my PDP people in Tobago. I must say, I think they are a dynamic group of young people who has their heart and soul and mind in the right place. I have confidence in the chief secretary. I think that morality in public office that a lot of people is yearning for. He's an exemplar of morality in public office.
And let me say this, Dr. Mohammed. I'm calling him a fella. It ever one individual named Pastor Terrence Baines. That fella, you know, he's not a normal politician, you know.
No, he's not.
He cut from a real different cloth, you know. That fella.
And I also know Terrence because Terrence and I work together as well. So I know Terrence. And I can say that
Terrence is the real deal. Terrence,
yeah.
I have to say
what you see is what you get.
Pastor Terrence Baines. And I'm trying to big up Pastor Terrence Baines on it. But that fella, we call him about 3 times call here.
Yeah. Judy, let me tell you something.
And that's what people get upset with me for. Well, why are you talking about PDP?
No, you have to talk about everybody. But Judy, let me tell you something. Philip's policies are not realistic. They are not achievable. And they are not achievable because they can't be achieved unless you get the overwhelming support of the numbers that are needed. And even I don't even think Philip really understands the depth of what is needed. You see, Trinidad and Tobago needs a leader that understands struggle, not a leader that has been privileged. And until we do, you see, and that's where so many different countries are succeeding in terms of politics. Barbados, Jamaica, Grenada, St. Kitts Nevis, Guyana. It's Trinidad that's in a chokehold, in the valley of the shadow of death. And we need somebody to come and take us out of this valley.
So Dr. Mohammed, hold that thought there, as we have about 2 more minutes left. Rose, Lana, Judy, Hailey, running real. Judy, Nadia, who else there, boy? We're doing a marathon tonight. I put closing comments in the chat. And Eugene Julian, if you're still there, Ulrich, if you're still there, put closing comments in the chat. Ulrich, you ain't getting Dr. Shane Mohammed case tonight at all, but
you probably like what he hear.
Yeah. Ulrich busy being an entrepreneur. Yeah. So Dr. Mohammed, what we want to do, we have to have you back because we have to have this discussion about Karen Nunes-Teixeira, because I have to be transparent to you. I'm a supporter of Karen Nunes-Teixeira. You know, I am.
You're not a supporter? You are. I am as well.
I am a supporter of Karen Nunes-Teixeira, and I believe that we want to have some change in the PNM, and I believe at this point in time, Karen is the person who can bring that type of change that we're looking for in the PNM, and that it would be exchange. And not just, you come and, the person come look like they'll get change. I think Karen speaks truth to power. When she tell it like it is and there's no in between of her. Some people always want to bring up the clico and insider trading and all kind of, frivolous, things in order to try to throw under the bus. And I tell them, I worked 23 years at the New York Stock Exchange. I could defend insider trading with my hands tied behind my back. And most people talk about clickers, but them don't even know the difference between clickers and financial. They don't even know it. You understand? And they don't know what is insider trading, they don't know what is front running, nor do they know what is market manipulation. All right? And I tell them they have to stop trying to, scandalize people's name you know, and they have never been charged with anything in the court of law. So any closing words from you, Dr. Mohammed?
I agreed. I agree. I think she's a breath of fresh air. I believe that I had a conversation with her because I wanted her on my show as well. And on our first conversation ever, Mrs. Teixeira treated me as if we had known each other for a very long time. And that alone says a lot about the individual, right? I think she has a lot to bring. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Rose. Rally around and see whether we have support, and if we have the overwhelming support, I may make the call. But I also want to tell you all this. I don't do anything without guidance from that man above. And there's a part of me that a lot of people don't know, that I'm also very highly spiritual, and that I hold that spiritual part of me is a very private aspect of my life. But if the will of God and the call of the people is for me to do what Judy and others are suggesting, it will happen, but it will happen in its time. So thank you very much.
It has some very spiritual people with Karen.
Yes. Yes.
I said, Mohammed, Dr. Mohammed, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed.
Hopefully, I see you all soon. Take care.
All right, take care. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
I didn't get to talk to him tonight.
You told me we getting another feedback from you. Okay.
I don't know why. Let me see something.
Yeah. Closing comments, Diana.
Nearly doze off, eh? In the words of a great Lou song, the winds of change are blowing, and my people in Trinidad and Tobago, the choice is up to you. Or you're going to get caught up in the trade winds and drift to sea. Diana Benskin, your global ambassador and poet, bidding you auf Wiedersehen till we meet again. Good night.
Good night, Diana. And I think this is a quote by Martin Luther King. It says, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just the first step. Again, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just the first step. And I think that's exactly what Karen Nunes-Teixeira have done, you know, and she has taken that first step. Go ahead, Tommy.
This is a quote by John Holmes. It says, there is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. And this is what I would hope we would get from our new hope for leadership in Trinidad and Tobago. A pleasant good night to each and every one. It's been a pleasure being here. I would see you next show, which would be on Thursday, of course, God willing. Till then, be safe. Love you all.
Take care, Tommy. Excellent. So let me go to the chat. Erica John, welcome. My Chuma Kenyan, good sister. You know, Erica says, have a blessed evening, everyone. Erica, we miss you, my friend. Lana, good night, everyone in the village. Family, stay safe. Blessed till we meet again on Thursday. Erica says, Judy says, universal blessing to all in the village families. We must all unite for profound change in Trinidad and Tobago. Erica says, I just can't help but listen to Dr. Mohammed. Lots to share. Judy says, I don't like scandalizing people's name. Lana says, to fix something, one must know it has a problem and where is the problem. No masking tape, patch up, fixing, fix permanently. Thank you. Was that Karen is a breath of fresh air? Kylie says Karen is a breath of fresh air. Old dogs does never recover. Rose says, I love hearing the sense Dr. Mohammed come and speak on the show. Karen says, Judy says, Dr. Mohammed, much respect. Good night. Hope to see you back. Ali says, Ansem, you're wrong like you was wrong. Sell your Amazon stocks. Okay.
Heidi says, closing comment. due diligence is a must before you can accept someone's proposal.
Okay. Highly says St. Philip Alexander cannot change anything he's saying to the country. Expect the same P&M garbage for the rest of the Trinidadians' life. Closing comments by Lana. As AG, all politicians should wean off the citizens' back.
Closing comments by Rose. Thank you, Diana, Tommy, and Aslam, for the kindness in allowing our input by means of our comments. You all are rated #1 in my book. Keep it up. Good work. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Good night, Nadia.
Okay. Yes, good night to you, Nadia. All right, so folks, we're going to go to this song because we think we need change in Trinidad and Tobago. So Elon Francis changed. Good night,
Come
folks.
around with more than 1 or 2
Good night,
votes.
Anselm.
We need the kind of change that's affordable to the rich man or the man that too broke. T&T, we need a new hope.
If you can look as far as I see, within this great land we call T&T, there's birds and bees, rivers and seas, pretty woman bringing man to their knees. Treasures of this blessed land we always neglect like 𝗪𝗁 and pan. I find it so strange the way we arrange. Still this nation don't know how to change. To some change might just mean a new car, could mean less than $1. To most change have this nice scent we usually get from the government. You see, change is something we always say, but every time we change, things remain the same way. Things keep getting worse and worse, so this is what I propose. Let's change the change for a better nation. Change the change for all foundations. Change the change so that we could say that this nation here came from quite down there. I say change the change within the school systems. Stop changing ministers and change what we teach them. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's murders, killings galore, so much gunmen fighting needless war. I can't tell you stay, can't tell you go, cause this still the land we used to know. Homeless, every corner you meet, and they complimented by our dirty streets. Then we wonder why in our sister isle, why they don't like Trinis to come and spend time. Well, you see, it's much more than paving a whole road, and it's greater than fixing a lamp pole. Change is about the whole nation and how we are portrayed when the party done. Who set these standards in my T&T? Really wish somebody here could tell me. It's just the same thing again and again, like we leaders don't use the brain. So change the change within our country. Change the change so the whole world could see. Change the change for a better future, so we don't have to depend on our next mayor. Say change the change within we society, otherwise we have a bandit factory. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. Yeah.